but everyone then sat down but I said, I'm not dancing again, it's finished, it's over. So there are so many things that I remember how Guruji would look after me, and without saying much, and he was always joking, always laughing. You see his picture on my Facebook and Insta in Russia. He's wearing that fur cap and coat, and niche dhoti hai. Dhoti ke niche, of course, the tights were there. But he was just full of energy, full of beans, full of laughter, full of jokes. And then he would warn me, hey, Sunal, he used to call me, Sunal, ये सबू देखू छंती तुमको तमें जम्मा ताको नहीं बनी. Don't look. You will not look at them. They are looking at you all the time. Every program they are there. You don't look at them. Don't give them wrong ideas. Ayyo Krishna, I don't want to give anybody wrong ideas. So, Guruji के साथ के जो स्मरण है, आखिरी में of course I got lot of kicks and jhappers from him also, which I take as his Ashirvad. But one thing I want to share with you, कि गुरु तो गुरु होते हैं. गुरु कुछ भी कहें, कुछ भी करें, उनका गुरुत्व उससे घटता नहीं है. लेकिन शिष्य ऐसे होने चाहिए जो मुंह ना बिगाड़े, जो उनकी ऐसी बात ना करे, क्योंकि ये आपके भाग्य में था कि गुरु जी ने आपको ऐसा आशीर्वाद भी दिया. उससे आपका क्या कल्याण हुआ वो आप सोचो. तो उससे ये हुआ कि मैं रोती हुई कुमकुम लाल के घर से जीवनदा के पास गई, एंड ही सेड, दिस इज़ अ बिग ब्लेसिंग, नाउ यू विल ग्रो. अभी तक गुरुजी जो सिखाए हैं वो सिखाए, लाइक अब हम लोगों ने सीखा, हमारे कुमकुम के घर में ही हुआ था ये कोरियोग्राफी अपना, विभूषण पुष्पे जा कांति जानो. उसके बाद my own work started in Odissi, that what are the traditional ragas, what are the real अष्टपदीस के कौन से राग हैं, उनका इम्पोर्ट क्या है, रियल मीनिंग क्या है. तो वर्षों तक गुरुजी ने मेरे से बात नहीं की. वो जहाँ कमानी में दिख गए, रेलवे स्टेशन पे दिख गए, एयरपोर्ट पे दिख गए, तुरंत जाके and you just turn away and walk. Afterwards, he would tell Jivanda and to a couple of people, नहीं, I shouldn't have done it, वगैरह जो भी. So Jivanda said, why don't you tell her, talk to her. And बात हमारी जीवनदा ने का सुना से कथा है बे तुम्हें टिके सुनो. तो केलू सर ने कहा कि भालो अच्छो मु तुम घरे के आसी पारिबी. तो सर गुरुजी आए दिल्ली, मेरे घर पे मैंने पूरी पाद पूजा की, अपने हाथ से बनाया हुआ खाना, खीर सब खिलाया और गुरु दक्षिणा दी. उस दिन के बाद गुरुजी हमेशा एकदम से कुंडे पको थे. सही अच्छी वो जीवन यात्रा, वो है मेरा जीवन का अनुभव. और आज आपके सामने थोड़ी सी बात करने का मौका मिला है. गुरुजी को मन से याद करती हूँ हमेशा. गुरुजी आपने जो दिया, इनवैल्यूएबल ट्रेजर. उसको लेकर मैं आगे बढ़ सकी. आपके आशीर्वाद हमेशा मेरे साथ हैं. I know that. That is why All of you who are here, who have learned directly from Guruji, are so lucky. I've been so fortunate, and I'm very happy that Ratikanta is taking the tradition forward, and we will all always remain indebted to Guru Kelucharan Mahapatra Ji, one of the greatest gurus India has ever seen. Namaskar.
स्मृतिर सजल क्षेत्र में जितेबले आवेग युक्त हुए सेतेबले गंडदेश आर्द्र हवा एक स्वाभाविक प्रक्रिया। गुकार अंधकारस्तु रुकार शनिवर्तक अंधकार निवृत्त्यातु गुरुरीत्य विधीयते। तेणु गुरु शिष्य त्रुटि करि पारे किंतु पिता ता समग्र त्रुटि को सुधार करी पुणी ताको बक्ष देश में आपणी दे पारे। यही तो जड़े गुरुंकर धर्म जहाँ निकटर निभाउथिले गुरु केलुचरण महापात्र महोदय, जो स्मृति को सजीवित करी पुणी थे गंड देश को आर्द्र करुले डॉक्टर सोनाल मानसिंह महोदय।
गोटे श्लोक कहिबी which applies to him, of course. अज्ञान तिमिरांधस्य ज्ञानांजन शलाकया चक्षुर उन्मिलितम येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। अज्ञान रूपी अंधकार को ज्ञान रूपी अंजन से हटाने वाले जो गुरु हैं उनको बारंबार नमस्कार है।
पुणी थे गुरुंकर चरणार बिंदर आभव प्रणति को अर्पण करी निजर स्मृति सजल भावावेग को समर्पी देउथिले डॉक्टर सोनाल मानसिंह महोदय। आम आउ एक हृदय भरा करताली सहित कृतज्ञता अर्पण करुचु आज मंच रे। पुणे एक मीठा करताली आशा करी आपण मानक पाखरु। ये हूँ गुरु भक्तिर अनन्य निदर्शन। आम गुरु रतिकांत महापात्र महोदय को निवेदन रखिबु ए स्मृति चिन्ह को प्रदान करी ए स्मृति को तांका स्मृतिर सिंधुक आउ टिके सजीवित करिवार प्रयास को प्रखर करिवे निश्चित भाव में। धन्यवाद। आमे मंचरु विदुषी सोनाल मानसिंह महोदय को मेलानी दवा सहित पुणी थे नम्रतार सहित निवेदन रखिबु गुरुजींकर प्रशिक्षण रूपक आलोक को निज जीवन में साइती रखी निज जीवन प्रति मुहूर्त को दुभाषित करिथिबा एवं बंगभूमि रही कलिंगर महार्ग परंपरा को बांटुथिबा गुरु श्रीमती आलोका कानूनगो महोदय अच्छा अम्मान गहन में आमे तांको पुनश्च नम्रतार सहित निवेदन रखिबु पुनश्च साहित्य संगीत एवं नृत्यर त्रिवेणी संगम को परसी दबार नूतन प्रयास जारी रखि गुरु श्रीमती आलोका कानूनगो महोदय आम खूब नम्रतार सहित निवेदन रखिबु आम सहित मंचरे सामिल हेबे एवं गुरुजी सहित अतिवाहित करिथिबा गुरुजी को जो भाव निजर करिथिबा से स्मृति को पुनश्च सजीवित करिवे आज रे मंचरे। गुरु श्रीमती आलोका कानूनगो महोदय आम खूब नम्रतार सहित मंच को आमंत्रण करुचु आपण मानकर करताली सहित। गुरु रतिकांत महापात्र महोदय को निवेदन रखिबु पुष्पगुच्छ दे गुरु श्रीमती आलोका कानूनगो महोदय को मध्य संखुलिबे मंचरे। This wait. Cover this right there.
नमस्कार। एते गुणीजन मान को देखिक कहला बेल को मत नर्भस लगुच। गुरुजी विषय एते कथा अच्छी कौटी आरंभ करी कौटी शेष करी जानी। मु भी पिलादिने बहुत दुष्ट थी। मु बहुत छोट बेलू मोर भाग्य जे मो गुरुजी सानिध्य लाभ कर पारी। ମୁଁ କଳା ବିକାଶ କେନ୍ଦ୍ର ଶିଖୁଥିଲି। ମୋ ସାର୍ଙ୍କ ପାଖରୁ କଥକ ବି ଶିଖିଛି। ଆଉ ଛୋଟବେଳେ ମୁଁ କେଉଁଠି ହରିଣ, କେଉଁଠି ମୟୂର ଆଉ ମୂଷା ବିଲେଇ ନାଚ, କାଉ କାଉ କଲୁରୀ ବଣ୍ଟିରେ କାଉ, ଏସବୁ ମୁଁ ହେଉଥିଲି। ମୂଷା ବିଲେଇ ନାଚରେ ମୁଁ ହେଇଥିଲି ମୂଷା। ଯେଉଁ ମୂଷାଟି ଘଣ୍ଟି ବାନ୍ଧିବ ବିଲେଇ ବେକରେ, ସେଇଦିନ ପ୍ରୋଗ୍ରାମ୍ ଅଛି ସନ୍ଧ୍ୟାବେଳେ, ସକାଳ ବେଳା ସାର୍ ଶିଖାଉଥାନ୍ତି। ମୋ ସାମ୍ନାରେ ମୂଷାଟି ଭୁଲ ଭାଲ କଲେ, ପଛ ପିଲା ଭୁଲ କରୁଥିଲେ, ଭୁଲ ଭାଲ କଲେ ବହୁତ ଚାପଡ଼ା ଦେଲେ ସାର୍ ସେଦିନ। ମୁଁ ସେଇଠୁ ଛାଡ଼ିକିରି ପଳେଇ ଆସିଲି। କଳା ବିକାଶ କେନ୍ଦ୍ର ମୁଁ ଦୌଡ଼ୁଛି, ଆଉ ମୋ ପଛେ ପଛେ ଆଉ ସମସ୍ତେ ଦୌଡ଼ୁଛନ୍ତି। ଘରକୁ ଆସିଲି, ରାତିରେ ପ୍ରୋଗ୍ରାମ୍ ହେଲା, ସାର୍ ସେଠି ବହୁତ ଖୁସି ହେଲେ। ମାନେ ଯେମିତି ଛୋଟ ପିଲା ଆଉ କ'ଣ ଭୁଲ ଭାଲ କଲେ, ଭୁଲ କରିଥିଲେ କି ନାହିଁ ମୋ ମନେ ନାହିଁ, କିନ୍ତୁ ସେତେବେଳେ ମୁଁ ଭାବୁଥିଲି ମୁଁ ବହୁତ ବଢ଼ିଆ ଡ୍ୟାନ୍ସ କରୁଛି। ଏମିତି ବହୁତ ଦିନ ଗଲା। ତାପରେ ମୁଁ କଥକ ବି ଶିଖୁଥିଲି। ଯେତେବେଳେ ୱାର୍କସପ୍ ଆରମ୍ଭ ହେଲା, ସେତେବେଳେ ମୁଁ ଜାଣିଲି ଯେ କ'ଣ ମାନେ ନାଚଟା କ'ଣ, କେମିତି ଭାବରେ ଶିଖା ହେଉଛି। ଗୁରୁଜୀ ବି ଗ୍ରୋ କରୁଥିଲେ। ମାନେ ସେତେବେଳେ ସେ ଗ୍ରାମାରଟାକୁ ପୁରା କେମିତି କରିବାକୁ ପଡ଼ିବ, ପାଦ କେତିକି ରଖିବାକୁ ପଡ଼ିବ, ହାତ କେତିକି ରଖିବାକୁ ପଡ଼ିବ, ଭଙ୍ଗୀଟା ଶେଷ କରିବାକୁ ପଡ଼ିବ, ଏକ୍ସପ୍ରେସନ୍ ବି କେତେଟା କରିବାକୁ ପଡ଼ିବ। ମୋ ମନେ ଅଛି ଥରେ ସେ କହୁଥିଲେ ଯେ ଗୋଡ଼ ବେଶୀ ବାଡ଼େଇଲେ କହୁଥିଲେ ତ ଗୋଡ଼ରେ ବେଶୀ ଶକ୍ତି ଅଛି ବୋଲି କ'ଣ ତୁ ଇଏ ଭାଙ୍ଗିଦେବୁ ନା କ'ଣ, ଆଉ ବେଶୀ ଷ୍ଟେପିଂସ୍ କଲେ କିମ୍ବା ଏକ୍ସପ୍ରେସନ୍ ବେଶୀ କଲେ ତମ ପାଖରେ ବେଶୀ ସୁନା ଅଛି ବୋଲି କ'ଣ ନାକରେ 4 କିଲୋ ପକାଇଦେବ, ପିନ୍ଧିଦେବ କି, ସେ ମୋତେ କହୁଥିଲେ। ତ ଏନିୱେ ମୁଁ ଟିକେ ଚାଇଲ୍ଡିଶ୍, ଏତେ ବେଶୀ ମାନେ ଯେମିତି ମୋର ବଡ଼ ଭଉଣୀମାନେ ସବୁ ନେଇଛନ୍ତି ତାଙ୍କ କଥାକୁ, ମୁଁ ଏତେ ନାହିଁ। ମୋତେ ସାର୍ ଯାହା ମାନେ ଗ୍ରାମାରଟାକୁ ଇନଷ୍ଟଲ୍ କରିଦେଇଛନ୍ତି, ମୋର କୌଣସି ଚେଷ୍ଟା ନଥିଲା ମାନେ ଶିଖିବା ପାଇଁକି, ସିଏ ମୋତେ ଶିଖେଇଛନ୍ତି। ମୋ ମନେ ଅଛି ଥରେ ଗତିବିଧି ପଲ୍ଲବୀ ସାର୍ ମୋତେ ରାତି 2ଟା ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ଶିଖାଉଥିଲେ, ମୁଁ ଏକୁଟିଆ। ହେଲେ କାହିଁକି ଆଉ କରୁଛନ୍ତି, ତୁ ଆସିଛୁ କଲିକତାରୁ ପଇସା ଖର୍ଚ୍ଚ କରିକି ଶିଖିବୁ ନା, ଆଉ ଶିଖେଇବେ ସିଏ। ସେମିତି ଯେତେବେଳେ ଗୀତ ଗୋବିନ୍ଦ ହେଲା କଲିକତାରେ, ସାର୍ 80ରେ ଗଲେ, ମୁଁ ସେକେଣ୍ଡ ଟାଇମ୍ ପୁଣି ଆରମ୍ଭ କଲି। ସେତେବେଳେ ସାର୍ ସୁତପା କୃଷ୍ଣ ଆଉ ମୁଁ ହେଉଛି ରାଧା। ସାର୍ଙ୍କର ଆଉ ଶିକ୍ଷା ଶେଷ ହେବନି, ବାଜିଯିବ ରାତି 12ଟା। ତାପରେ ଆଉ ମୋ ବର ବସିଥିବେ, ବାବୁ ଆଉ ଟିକିଏ ଏମିତି କଥା କହିବେ ଯେ ସେ ଆମ ବରମାନେ ଜମା ରାଗିବେନି, ଆଉ ସେମାନେ ପୁରା ସାର୍ଙ୍କୁ କୋଅପରେଟ୍ କରିବେ। ଆଗରୁ କହିବେ ଏତେ ରାତିରେ କ'ଣ ଛାଡ଼ୁଛନ୍ତି, କେମିତି ଆସିବ, ଇଏ ହେବ ସିଏ ହେବ, ସେମାନେ କିଛି କହିବେନି। ତ ଏଇ ହେଉଛି ସାର୍ଙ୍କର ଚାରିଜମା। ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ କଥା ମୁଁ ଶିଖିଛି ତାଙ୍କଠୁ ଯେ ଏକ୍ସପ୍ରେସନ୍। ମୁଁ 71ରେ ତରୁଣ କଳାକାର ନୃତ୍ୟ ସମାରୋହରେ ନାଚିବାକୁ ଯାଇଥିଲି। ତ ମୁଁ ୟା ହିଁ ମାଧବ କରିବି, ଆଉ ମୁଁ ଭାବୁଥିଲି ମୋ ଏକ୍ସପ୍ରେସନ୍ ବହୁତ ବଢ଼ିଆ, ଫାର୍ଷ୍ଟ କ୍ଲାସ୍ ଏକଦମ। ସମସ୍ତେ କହୁଥିଲେ ଆରେ ତୁ ଯାହା କରୁ ଏକ୍ସପ୍ରେସନ୍, ତୁ ଯାହା କରୁ ମାନେ ବହୁତ ବଢ଼ିଆ। ସାର୍ ମୋତେ ଦେଖିଲେ, କହିଲେ ଏଲୋ ମା ତୁ ଏମିତି କର ନାହିଁ, ମୁଁ ତୋତେ ଏଇନେ ବୁଝେଇ ପାରିବିନି, ପ୍ରୋଗ୍ରାମଟା ଅଛି, ମୁଁ ଯେମିତି କରୁଛି ତୁ ସେମିତି କରିଯା। ସେତେବେଳେ ମଲ୍ଲିକା ସାରାଭାଇ ବି ଥିଲେ, ଆଉ କାମଦେବ, ଆଉ କିଏ ଥିଲେ, ମେନକା ଠକ୍କର ଥିଲେ। ମୋର ବହୁତ ସୌଭାଗ୍ୟ ଯେ ମୁଁ କୁମକୁମ ଦିଦିଙ୍କ ସାଙ୍ଗରେ କ୍ଲାସ୍ କରିଛି, କୁମକୁମ ଲାଲ, ସୋନାଲଜୀଙ୍କ ସାଙ୍ଗରେ ମୁଁ ଶିଖିଛି, ଅପରାଜିତା ଥିଲା, ପରଫର୍ମ କରିଛି ୱାର୍କସପ୍ରେ, ମୁଖ୍ୟ ଆମେ କରିଥିଲୁ। ଆଉ ଯେତେ ବଡ଼ ବଡ଼ ଡ୍ୟାନ୍ସର ଅଛନ୍ତି, ମାନେ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କର ସାନ୍ନିଧ୍ୟ ଲାଭ କରିପାରିଛି। ଯେଉଁ କଥାଟା ମୁଁ ଏଇନେ କହିଲି, ମୁଁ ଟିକେ ଡେଭିଏଟ୍ କରିଗଲି। ମଡୁଲେସନ୍ ସାଙ୍ଗରେ କେମିତି କହିବ, ମାନେ ଏକ୍ସପ୍ରେସନ୍। ଯଦି କହିବ ନାଇଁ ମୁଁ ସେମିତି ନୁହଁ, ତାହେଲେ ନାଇଁ ମୁଁ ସେମିତି ନୁହଁ, ନାଇଁ ମୁଁ ସେମିତି ନୁହଁ, ନା ସେମିତି ମୁଁ ନୁହଁ। ମଡୁଲେସନ୍ ସାଙ୍ଗେ କେମିତି କହିବ, ୟା ହିଁ ମାଧ୍ୟମରେ ମୁଁ ସେଦିନ ଶିଖିଲି। ନଟ୍ ରିଏଲାଇଜିଂ ହ୍ୱାଟ୍ ଆଇ ଏମ୍ ଲର୍ଣ୍ଣିଂ, इट इज इनसाइड मी इंस्टिल्ड बाय गुरुजी मु जानिनी मु कौन शिखी कौन शिखिनी बट मो देहरे सी पूरा ढुकई देइछंती मते किछि चेष्टा करिया को पड़िनी सार बहुत मारुथिले एते ठो ठा मारदेबी कि कहना राग लगे जे ओडिसी छाड़ी चल जीवी आह एत बढ़िया कहते मत माने अटेंशन भल लगे छोट बेले जिते थी मु भावुली मो साइंटिस्ट हेबी बही पढ़ी देखी सब साइंटिस्ट मान पट तापर देखिए ना साइंटिस्ट हवाठू नाच कले बेसी चंचल ना हो चली आई अब बहुत अभद्र थी मामू घर थी बहुत अभद्र जिदी मत जो मैंने जानते छोट पिला जानते थोड़े गोटे कंपटीशन है छोट पिला भितर मु फास्ट हेली बड़ छोट मिसिक मु फास्ट हेलिनी तो मु कहली सील तो सी नहीं जीव मुझे भल लगे समस्त कहले ये तो हेनी मुझे कंपेली तो मामू मत आनिकी कहले जे तू भल नाचु बहुत भल नाचु किंतु तू एते भल नाचबू एते भल करिवु जे से माने बाध्य हेबे करबा पे कि तो मु से कथा मन रखी सार भी मत सेमती कहती मुझे जो कालकाटा गली पुणी सेकेंड टाइम कली से मत कहीं चिन्ह नथिले तो सार कहले तमे तू जदि भल करिवु लोक मैंने ते अप्रिशिएट करेंगे तो पाखक निजे निजे आसबे आई कथा मु एपर्यंत मन रखी अब मु भावुची सार आशीर्वाद या छड़ा सार आउ गोटे कथा शिखई मते जे समस्ते समान आम थर जाइलु कुल्टी से कुल्टी सार को सब तले शोवा व्यवस्था कर देइछंती झील मान को सब भल रूम देइछंती और मु गली आम सब गलु कहलु सार को कहलु सार आपण आसतु आम रूम रे रहिबे आउ कहीं तुम पाखे कहीं रही ना सार ये तले शुए मु तो तले शुए बोले सार नहीं आपण एम तो आमर लोक मोर भल देखभाल करेंगे तांकर जमा माने पर आपण आते समवेदना थिला सीटा देखिबार कथा आउ थे सेमती होता जे माने सार ट्रेन आम जाऊलु से तो पुली पुली मिलू नथिले बहुत जिनस तो केमिति नब हिमसिम खाई जाऊलु सार गोटे गोटे बाक्स नहीं टेकी पकई दूसरे पूरा गोटे बाक्स नहीं टेकिकी रखी दौले अब सार को माने मोर मत कौन माने कि माने किसी माने बापा एमती भया लगुला थोड़ा आउ गोटे कथा गोटे सर गोटे कौ प्रोग्राम जाइली सुनील कथा कहले मोर रूम ना मु तोर रूम रे रही तू तो दुईटा बेड आखिल नहीं तुम कमी मोर रूम रे रही मोर रूम नहीं मु कहली सार सी कहते मोर रूम रे रे मुझे रूम चली आस सार कहले चलिया कहले मु तो तले शोची राखेल गोटे जगह शोची खटर तू गोटे खटर शोबू माने सार संगे पूरापूरी माने किसी माने ये नथिला जमती निजर घर लोक आउ थे सेमती घर झेलम फेलम सब आम संगे जाइए ना वर्कशॉप करने सार घरे सार से सब पढ़ेले मु एकुटिया मु कहली सार मु आज आपण रूम रे वो कहले ठीक अच्छे तो तले बेडिंग पका हम तू शोई पड़ू से टे जगह रखिए आम भर किए माने बाथरूम जीव कि आग कहीं उठब ताहले ये हम से बिछाना करदे मुझे शोइले आबे सार को भाभी पारिनी जे के जन अलग लोक मन भितर भक्ति श्रद्धा आसी जाऊँगी परिणत बयस मु जापारुची सार कहीं मारुले तांकर भी फ्रस्ट्रेशन होता ये शिखई पारुनी माने शिखेबा को पड़ो ही इज वेरी फोकस्ड गोटे कथा ना यहाँ गोटे कथा सेकेंड कथा मुझे स्टबन हेली मैंने शिखी पाइलिनी गोटे चट माइले सागे सागे नहीं हो जाए दुईटा कथा आज जहाँ भी सार आउ गोटे कथा मुझे शिखी सार पाखु शिखबार इच्छा आ क्या खराब कहती नहीं माने आम सब हसी दो से कहती नाई ତା ଭିତରେ ବି କିଛି ଭଲ ଜିନିଷ ଅଛି। ତୁମକୁ ଖରାପ ଜିନିଷ ଦେଖିବାର ନାହିଁ। ଯେଉଁଟା ଭଲ ସେଇଟା ଆକ୍ସେପ୍ଟ କର, ଯେଉଁଟା ଖରାପ ସେଇଟାକୁ ତ୍ୟାଗ କର। ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ କଥା ଶୁଣନ୍ତୁ, ଆମେମାନେ ଯେଉଁ ଭାବୁ କମ୍ପିଟିସନ୍, କମ୍ପିଟିଟିଭ୍ ସ୍ପିରିଟ୍, ମୁଁ ଆଙ୍କଠୁ ଭଲ ନାଚିବି, ମୁଁ ସେଇଠି କରିବି, ସେ କରିବି, ତୁ ଅନ୍ୟମାନଙ୍କ କଥା ଭାବୁଛୁ କାହିଁକି? ନିଜକୁ କନସେନ୍ଟ୍ରେଟ୍ କରୁନୁ। ତୁ କ'ଣ କରୁଛୁ? ସୋ ଆଇ ଏମ୍ ଟିଲ୍ ନାଓ ଆଇ ଏମ୍ ଫୋକସ୍ଡ ଅନ୍ ମି। ମୁଁ କାହା କଥା ଭାବେନି। ଆପଣମାନେ ଯାହା କୁହନ୍ତୁ, ସେଲ୍ଫିସ୍ କୁହନ୍ତୁ କି ଯାହା କୁହନ୍ତୁ, ମୁଁ ମୋ କଥା କି ମୁଁ ଭାବେ, ବଟ୍ ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ଇଜ୍ ଗୁଡ୍। ମନ ଖରାପ ହେବନି। ଆଉ ମୁଁ ସାର୍ଙ୍କୁ ବହୁତ 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 କଥା ଶିଖେଇଛନ୍ତି ମୋତେ। ଆଣ୍ଡ ହି ଇଜ୍ ରିଏଲି ଗୁରୁ। ଗୁରୁ ମାନେ କ'ଣ? ଆମେ ଇଟ୍ସ ନଟ୍ ଟିଚର। ତମ ଫର୍ମାଲ ଟ୍ରେନିଂ ତ ଦେଇଛନ୍ତି, ଇନଫର୍ମାଲି ଅଲସୋ ନମ୍ରତା, ବଡ଼ମାନଙ୍କୁ ସମ୍ମାନ ଆଉ ଭଗବାନରେ ବିଶ୍ୱାସ, ଏଇ ତିନିଟା କଥା ଶିଖେଇଛନ୍ତି। ଡିସିପ୍ଲିନ୍, ପରିବାରରେ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କ ସାଙ୍ଗରେ କୁଙ୍କୁମପା ବି କହିଛନ୍ତି, ଭଲ ବ୍ୟବହାର ସେଇଟା ବି ଶିଖେଇଛନ୍ତି। ମାନେ ଟୋଟାଲି ଆମର ଯେଉଁ ସାଇକୋଲୋଜି, ଆମର ଯେଉଁ କ୍ୟାରେକ୍ଟର, ସ୍ପେଶାଲି ମୋର ମୁଁ କହିବି, ସବୁ ଚେଞ୍ଜ କରିକିରି ସେ ଗୋଟେ ଭଲ ମଣିଷ, ଭଲ ଗୋଟେ ଡ୍ୟାନ୍ସର କହିବିନି, ଭଲ ଆର୍ଟିଷ୍ଟ, କଳାକାର, ଭଲ କଳାକାର, ସବୁ ଜିନିଷ ଦେଖିବା ପାଇଁକି, ସବୁ ଜିନିଷ ଜାଣିବା ପାଇଁକି, ଏବଂ କାହାର ନିନ୍ଦା ନ କରିକିରି, କାହାର ସାଙ୍ଗରେ କୌଣସି ମାନେ ଶତ୍ରୁତା ନ ରଖିକିରି, ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କ ସାଙ୍ଗରେ ମିଶିକିରି କେମିତି କାମ କରିବ, ସେଇଟା ହିଁ ହେଉଛି ପ୍ରକୃତ କଳାକାରର ଧର୍ମ। ମୁଁ ଜାଣିନି ମୁଁ କେତେଟା ହେଇପାରିଛି, ବଟ୍ ଆଇ ଫଲୋ ଇଟ୍। ଏତିକି କହିକି ମୁଁ ପ୍ରଣାମ କରିବି। ଆଉ ମୁଁ ସାର୍ଙ୍କ ଅବଦାନ ପାଇଁକି ଆଜି ଏଠି ଠିଆ ହେଇପାରିଛି। ତାଙ୍କର ପୁଅ ରତିକାନ୍ତ ମହାପାତ୍ର, ତାକୁ ମୁଁ ଧନ୍ୟବାଦ ଦେଉଛି। ମୁଁ ହୃଦୟରୁ ମିନି ଅପା ଆଉ କୁଙ୍କୁମ ଅପା, ମୋ ସାଙ୍ଗ ସ୍ନେହପ୍ରଭା ସାମନ୍ତରାୟ ପ୍ରଧାନ ଆଉ ଶରଣ ଲୟ, କୁଙ୍କୁମ ଲାଲ, ଏମାନଙ୍କୁ ମୁଁ ପ୍ରଣାମ ଦେଉଛି। ଏମାନଙ୍କ ସାଙ୍ଗରେ ମୁଁ ନାଚ ଶିଖିଛି, ମୋର ସୌଭାଗ୍ୟ। ସ୍ପେଶାଲି କୁଙ୍କୁମ ଲାଲ ଆଉ ମାଧବୀଜୀ, ଯାହାଙ୍କୁ ମୁଁ ପରେ ମୁଁ ପାଇଛି, ଏମାନେ ମୋର ସିନିୟର ଡ୍ୟାନ୍ସର୍ସ। ଇଲିଆନା ସାଙ୍ଗରେ ମୁଁ ନାଚ ଶିଖିଛି ବି, ଝେଲମ ଦେବୀ, ଆଉ ଶର୍ମିଲା ବିଶ୍ୱାସ ଏଠି ଅଛନ୍ତି, ଦେବଯାନୀ, ଶର୍ମିଲା ମୁଖାର୍ଜୀ, ଦ୍ରାକ୍ଷା ମସୁରୱାଲା, ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ମୁଁ ପ୍ରଣାମ ଦେଉଛି। ଆପଣମାନଙ୍କର ବି ବହୁତ କଣ୍ଟ୍ରିବ୍ୟୁସନ୍ ଅଛି ଓଡ଼ିଶୀ ପାଇଁକି। ଆଉ ସାର୍ ହେଉଛନ୍ତି ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କର ଉର୍ଦ୍ଧ୍ୱରେ, ସିଏ ଆମର ଲିଡର, ସିଏ ଆମକୁ ବାଟ ଦେଖାଇଛନ୍ତି। ପ୍ରଣାମ। ସୁଜାତାକୁ ବି ମୁଁ ଧନ୍ୟବାଦ ଦେଉଛି, ସୁଜାତା ମହାପାତ୍ର ଏବଂ ଅରୁଣା ମହାନ୍ତି। କେହି କିଛି ଭାବିବେନି, ଆଉ ଯେଉଁମାନଙ୍କ ନାଁ ଛାଡ଼ିଦେଲି ନିଜେ ନିଜେ ଲଗେଇଦେବେ।
ବ୍ୟକ୍ତି ସତ୍ତାକୁ ବାଟେଇ ନଦେଲେ ବ୍ୟକ୍ତିତ୍ୱ ଆକର୍ଷଣୀୟ ହୁଏନି, ସର୍ବଜନ ଆଦୃତ ହୁଏନି, ଏ କଥାକୁ ମର୍ମେ ମର୍ମେ ଅନୁଭବ କରିଥିଲେ ଗୁରୁଜୀ। ତେଣୁ ସେଇଥିପାଇଁ ଯେ ଚରିତ୍ରକୁ ନ ସଜାଡ଼ିଲେ ଆମ ପ୍ରତିଭାର ଚିତ୍ର ସମାଜରେ ଚିରସ୍ଥାୟୀ ହେବ ନାହିଁ, ଏ କଥା ବି ଗୁରୁଜୀ ମର୍ମେ ମର୍ମେ ଅନୁଭବ କରିଥିଲେ। ତେଣୁ କେବଳ ନୃତ୍ୟର ପ୍ରଶିକ୍ଷକ, ଜଣେ ପ୍ରଶିକ୍ଷକ ଭାବରେ ନୃତ୍ୟର ପ୍ରଶିକ୍ଷଣ ନୁହେଁ, ବରଂ ବ୍ୟକ୍ତି ସତ୍ତାକୁ ବାଟେଇ ଆଣିବା ପାଇଁ ପ୍ରତି ମୁହୂର୍ତ୍ତରେ ଚେଷ୍ଟା କରୁଥିଲେ ଗୁରୁ କେଳୁଚରଣ ମହାପାତ୍ର। ଯେଉଁ କଥାକୁ ଅଙ୍ଗୀକାର କରୁଥିଲେ ଗୁରୁ ଶ୍ରୀମତୀ ଆଲୋକାନନ୍ଦ ମହୋଦୟ। ଏବଂ ଅନ୍ତିମରେ ନିଜ ପରିବାରର ସଦସ୍ୟମାନଙ୍କ ନାଁ ନେଲା ବେଳେ ମୋତେ ଲାଗୁଥିଲା ଯେମିତି ସମସ୍ତ ଔପଚାରିକତାର ପରିସୀମାକୁ ସେ ଅତିକ୍ରମ କରିଛନ୍ତି, ପରିବାର ଭିତରେ ନାଁ ନେଇଛନ୍ତି ଆଉ ଦାୟିତ୍ୱ ବି ଦେଇଛନ୍ତି ଯେଉଁମାନଙ୍କ ନାଁ ନେଇନାହାନ୍ତି ନିଜେ ନିଜେ ଯୋଡ଼ି ଦେବା ପାଇଁ। ଏହି ଆପଣାର ପଡ଼ିଆ ଗୁରୁଜୀ ଯେଉଁ ପରିବାର ନିର୍ମାଣ କରିଛନ୍ତି, ସେ ପରିବାରର ବନ୍ଧନ ଏବେ ବି ଅତୁଟ ଅଛି, ଏବେ ବି ନିବିଡ଼ ଅଛି, ଯାହା ପ୍ରମାଣିତ କରିଛି ଏ କଥାରୁ। ପରବର୍ତ୍ତୀ ଆମେ ନମ୍ରତାର ସହିତ ନିବେଦନ ରଖିବୁ, ଗୁରୁଜୀଙ୍କ ସହିତ ନିଜ ଜୀବନଯାତ୍ରାକୁ ଯୋଡ଼ି ଦେଇ ନିଜ ପରିଚୟକୁ ଦୁନିଆ ଦାଣ୍ଡରେ ସୁସ୍ପଷ୍ଟ କରିବାରେ ଯେଉଁ ଆଶୀର୍ବାଦ ଟିକକ ପାଥେୟ କରିଥିଲେ ଏବଂ ସେ ଆଶୀର୍ବାଦକୁ ସାମର୍ଥ୍ୟ ବୋଲି ମାନି ନେଇ ନିଜର ପରିଚୟକୁ, ନିଜର ସ୍ୱାକ୍ଷରକୁ ସୁସ୍ପଷ୍ଟ କରିଥିଲେ ଦୁନିଆ ଦାଣ୍ଡରେ। गुरु श्रीमती कुमकुमलाल महोदय आम खूब नम्रतार सहित नवेदन रखा आम सहित मंच में सामिल होगापी कुमकुमलाल जी को आम अनुरोध करूँ आम सहित मंच में सामिल हे। पुणी थे अतीत को वर्तमान रूपांतरित कर प्रयास करेंगे स्मृतिर सिंधुकरू पुणी थे साउंटी से अमूल्य रत्न गुड़ी आपण सहित बांटी देवार प्रयास करेंगे। आम पुणी एक हृदय भराकर ताली सहित श्रीमती कुमकुमलाल महोदय को मंच को संखुड़ुचु। एवं गुरु रतिकांत महापात्र महोदय निवेदन रखिबू पुष्पगुच्छ दे श्रीमती कुमकुमलाल महोदय को समर्थित करेंगे मंच में।
प्रणाम सब सीनियर्स को, प्रियंवदा जी, सोनल जो चली गई, और कुमकुम, और आप सब लोगों को। और ये इट इज़ सो नाइस टू बी with all the to meeting all the family of Guruji students and bask in the warmth in this cold weather over here. I don't know ऐसा समागम फिर कब होगा। गुरुर् ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वराः गुरु साक्षात परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। हम तो सब जानते हैं कि as dancers he has been our creator, a nurturer and a disciplinarian. पर गुरु जी से मैं कहूँगी त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव, त्वमेव बंधुश्च सखा त्वमेव, त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणम त्वमेव, त्वमेव सर्वम मम देव देव। As so many recounting and Sonal's moving recounting has shown, और आप लोग सब जानते हैं, he was really our nurturer. He was our mother, he was our father, he was our friend, he was our brother, he was everybody. पैर से लेके घुंघरू बांधने से लेके तैयार करने में, चिता करने में, सब कुछ वो करते थे हमारा। As dancers, he has created us. As he has kept us, संभाला है उन्होंने हम लोगों को। I have written some things, but as always, we all tend to ramble because our emotions overtake our minds. So, the other epithet I will use for him, उनको हम पंकज भी बुलाएंगे। From his humble beginnings in Raghurajpur, from being almost given away to the temple by his mother, who thought that he won't survive, and to the pinnacles of success international. He has grown from humble beginnings and flowered forth in such a resplendent way. And so I'm sure all of you will agree with him. Because when I think of his journey for 75 plus years, I think of him first riding a bicycle, then getting a moped, then getting a car, and then flying planes everywhere. Similarly, to start from that baby at that Devi's charan, to go become a Gotipua, then get on to Natya in Mohan Sundar Goswami's troupe, and learning all the theatre arts over there. And then to become get into the theatre, become a pakhavaj player, a tabla player, and then be introduced to dancing also, and to composition also, and tal also. He then goes on to become a dancer, teacher, dancer, choreographer, percussionist. He has had a great journey,
like that. And he has grown from that to this. And with him has grown Odissi. He started as a Gotipa, murder player, and all that. And then, so we have had the privilege of knowing him as a choreographer and as a teacher and as a player also. He is regarded as the architect of Odissi, along with Guru Pankaj Charan Das and Dev Prasad Das. But I think he has surpassed everybody. There are several reasons for it. It's his own genius. It is his survival for a much longer time. And also, it is his generosity. So that is what has helped as an architect of Odissi. And those of us who had a privilege of the older generation of being with him, we have had the privilege of learning from him one-to-one. In fact, I remember in my earliest days when he was teaching me Yahi Madhav, there was another girl with me who was a professional dancer. तो गुरुजी इतने मज़े से सिखाते थे, हर एक शब्द को ऐसे डिस्क्राइब करते थे, तो as Alok also said कि अपने जहन में चला जाता था. I was enjoying it tremendously. पर मेरे साथ जो प्रोफेशनल ग्रुप की डांसर थी, उसने कहा ये मास्टर तो बहुत टाइम लेता है, एक लाइन में 1 हफ्ता ले रहा है, मैं तो नहीं सीखूंगी उनसे. But I had this wonderful privilege both of learning from him one-to-one and also, like others of my generation, to have many compositions choreographed of me and see his choreography being born. There are many epithets that I would apply to him. One of them is integrity, both as a man, as a person, and as an artist. How as a person, he was a solid person. He could be relied upon. Everybody respected him because for what he was. And then in his art, what was it? He worked on every idea. There was nothing superficial about it. He worked sincerely and he worked with complete honesty on that. मैं कई बार उनसे पूछती थी, गुरुजी आप कैसे कोरियोग्राफ करते हैं? How do you think of the ideas that you do? So he told me कि मैं उसके बारे में सोचता हूँ. And focus is one great thing. Through the biggest difficult circumstances, trials and tribulations, both personal and otherwise, he could focus on what he was doing and bring out the best in it, because he thought of it completely in great sincerity. So in his compositions, you will not find any false thing over there. And you will find a huge variety in his compositions. It was not simply focus, but it was hard work. All of us know कितना वो काम करते थे. रात दिन 2 बजे तक तो it was ordinary कि उनके साथ क्लास चल रही है, 2 बजे तक देर तक वो सिखा रहे हैं compositions के टाइम. और all of us when we used to see him, दोपहर को नाम के वास्ते वो रेस्ट करते थे, but his finger would be going like this and he was doing this like this because he was thinking of his creations. And at night he suffered from insomnia. वो कहते थे मुझे बहुत जलन होती है कि कोई सो रहा है वहाँ पर मेरे सामने साउंडली. तो क्योंकि वो उनका दिमाग हर वक्त चलता रहता था, वो काम करते रहते थे हर वक्त. इसलिए एज अ पर्सन उनकी इंटेग्रिटी तो थी, लेकिन उनकी कमिटमेंट और उनकी इंटेग्रिटी टुवर्ड्स हिज आर्ट वाज आल्सो देयर. दैट वाज द प्राइमरी थिंग. द अदर थिंग आई वुड लाइक टू talk about is his aesthetic sense, both in life and in art. उनके हाथ में एक ढेला भी दे दो मिट्टी का तो वो उसमें खूबसूरती निकाल देंगे. उनको एक दफ़े क्या हुआ कि वो मेरे घर आए और उन्होंने एक हिंदी की पोएम दी. He had to perform to it and he asked my husband also he would, what is the meaning of this, how should I go about it? And it was such a third-rate poem, you know. Second-rate poem. हमने कहा गुरुजी आप ये मत करिए, उनसे कहिए कि दूसरा देंगे. पर नहीं कि उन्होंने दिया है तो करते हैं कुछ, और उन्होंने करा और वो चीज़ खूबसूरत बन गई. This is what it is. He will take anything and make it beautiful. And I would like to say, उसमें वो गार्डनिंग को भी ब्यूटीफुल, उनका जो घर था कटक में, अपने हाथ से बनाया हुआ घर, उसमें वो अपने पौधे लगा रखे थे. वो कनक चंपा का पेड़ था वहाँ पर, वो आंगन था, और बड़ी खूबसूरती से उन्होंने उसको अपने हाथों से बनाया था. उनका डांस रूम हमारे सामने बना है, उसमें आई हैपन टू बी देयर, उसके फर्श पे कमल बना हुआ है. किस तरह से उन्होंने उसको एम्बेड किया इन द सीमेंट. एंड देन फ्रॉम ईच स्टूडेंट ही सेज तुमको ये चांदुआ देना है, तुमको ये देना है. आई एम हैप्पी टू से कि एक चीज़ मैंने जो दी थी वहाँ पर है. तो हाँ, तो जिंदगी की हर एक पहलू में वो खूबसूरती ले आते थे. I would like to call him a genius because he was a genius, and the genius took different avenues. Of course, it was there in the choreography we see, which have become immortal in his hands. You cannot do anything. If you see Kudi Yadunandan done by somebody else, you will say this blend of sensibility, sensitivity, aesthetics, when the text is so erotic, cannot be duplicated by anybody by him. He had that understanding. He had that genius. A genius is not one who just does science discoveries and things like that. That quality of genius comes out in everything. आप प्लम्बिंग में कहीं देखिए, प्लम्बिंग भी वो कर सकते हैं. वो उनको गार्डनिंग और मैकेनिक्स तो, as Shibu just pointed out in great detail, how I feel that if he wasn't a guru, he would have been an engineer. Circumstances gave them to us, so that's great, you know. Otherwise, किसी भी चीज़ में मैं कई बार सोचती थी कि वो घर आएंगे तो मैं उनसे पूछूंगी ये जटिल समस्या को कैसे सॉल्व करना है, इसमें क्या है. The reason for that was, as Sonal said, inquisitiveness, curiosity. He wanted to get at the root of everything, to learn everything. Every Sanskrit line that he took up, he would go to a Pandit and find every detail. Once or twice I felt that something was not, he would learn from anybody. He didn't mind being corrected because he was concerned about the art and not himself. In fact, I just want to say that when 75th birthday was celebrated and we had a gala 3-day celebration of 57 performers and his films and his puja, Shodash puja we did, Guru's puja, he was there at that time. We were privileged to have him at that time. It was not making any effect on him. He was just attending a program and he was amusedly looking. कोई उन्होंने नहीं सोचा कि वो बहुत बड़े great guru हैं and all that. हम ही सोचते हैं क्योंकि he was a humble man. अपना बैग अपने आप उठाएंगे, अपना पखावज अपने आप उठाएंगे. किसी को दूसरी sensitivity to the problems of the other person was so great. So this is our Guruji, as you all know. I find it difficult to speak of personal incidents because he's so much an integral part of my being. Just like you find it difficult to talk about what you feel about your father or your mother. That is why I cannot think of, I'm not going to think of many incidents and to recount. I wish I could, like Sonal had so many things to say. He used to always stay in my house in Delhi. So drawing room में बिस्तरा उनका ज़मीन पे कारपेट पे लग जाता था, पानदान यहाँ पर था, टीवी आगे चलना चाहिए ज़रूर. And if there's some film on, that's the greatest. और दरवाजे के पीछे उनका जामा टंगा हुआ है. And then he would, with my husband, share an orange drink which was spiked with some alcohol. He says, शिबू को मत बताना कि उसको इसमें ये दिया है. But then Shibu used to say this is the place he really relaxes the most. And so it was my privilege to have him there. तो मैंने अपने हस्बैंड से कहा, अशोक से कहा कि ये एक आध फोटो लो ना, किसी को मालूम ही नहीं हुआ कितना समय हमारे घर में बिताते हैं. तो ही वेंट टू गेट हिज कैमरा और उसमें बैटरी नहीं थी. सो नो फोटोग्राफ गॉट टेकन एंड इन अ वीक्स टाइम ही हैड गॉन. ही वॉज डूइंग दैट रोल ऑफ शकुनी. दिल्ली में आके वो शकुनी बन के, और क्या एनर्जी, क्या इंथुजियाज्म, क्या हिम्मत. आई विश वी कुड ऑल्सो get all those qualities in us, you know. And so, but now, anyway, I have, मतलब मेरा privilege है कि जब उनको पद्मश्री मिला तो मैं उनके साथ राष्ट्रपति भवन गई. And he was holding classes in Triveni at that time. And so I borrowed Mrs. Sridharani's car. I was also living as a paying guest somewhere at that time. And I said, if we can go to Rashtrapati Bhavan, take Guruji there, because so she allowed me, and I was too embarrassed to ask for the return journey. वो अलग ज़माना था, 1967 नहीं, I don't remember when he got it. उस ज़माने में इतनी शोशाबाजी नहीं होती थी सब अरेंजमेंट्स में, फॉर्मल ओकेजन्स पे. तो हम लोग फिएट गाड़ी से गए, वहाँ पर स्टेप्स राष्ट्रपति के भवन में गए. फिर he went up and he got his award in his cotton dhoti and all that sort of thing. पर वापसी में क्या हुआ कि there was no vehicle, so we had to climb down all those stairs, walk at least 2 kilometers to the main road, take a scooter and come back. But then I must also say कि जब पद्म विभूषण मिला तब भी मैं उनके साथ गई थी वहाँ पर राष्ट्रपति भवन में. और हेमा मालिनी, और he was absolutely so taken by her beauty at that time. And उस टाइम तो उनके लिए गाड़ी आई मेरे घर उनको लेने के लिए, और एस्कॉर्ट भी आया. तो बहुत बढ़िया एक्सपीरियंस रहा था वो. And so this is और मैं क्या कहूँ, बाकी तो मेरे जहन में सब कुछ है. But I also want to say कि इलियाना की excellent biography of Guruji's, which is also shows the history of Odisse's growth. It ends on that occasion when, after Guruji had performed Kevat Prasang, his Guru Pankaj Charan Das Ji took the garland from the Jagannath Ji and put it on Guruji, and Guruji did Sashtang Pranam over there. I think a lot of us will remember that occasion. But perhaps you don't know that mala he gave to me on the stage itself, and it is lying now in my puja. With that, I end this.
Amen. अनेक अनेक कृतज्ञता अर्पण करुछु गुरुजींकर अन्यतम सफल सृष्टि श्रीमती कुमकुम लाल महोदय निकटरे, जे गुरुजींकर भावादर्श को अति निखुणतार सहित बखाणुले और निज अंगे लिभेवा अनुभूति मध्य. तेज आज आम गहन उपस्थित अच्छा जड़े विदेशी नहीं गुरुजींकर भावादर्शर अनुप्राणित हलापर ओडिसी मोहरे आचरण हो जितेबले ओडिशा को निजर कर्मभूमि बोली भाविले एवं बोध हुए गुरुजी सहित अंगे लिभे समस्त अनुभूति को शब्द साई गुरुजी पुस्तक रचना कले एवं व्यक्तिगत भाव में गुरुजी सहित समय काटिला बेले गुरुजी उदाहरण दियंती कहते जे वर्षा हुए से किंतु खरा वर्षा शीत को न मानि सब बेले क्लास करने निरंतर आसती साइकिल धरिकी. तेणु जो निष्ठा एकाग्रता ताकू दिने सफल नृत्य शिल्प रूपांतरित कर एक अंत व्यक्तिगत भाव में शुणवार सुजोग मो पाखे था. तेणु से किए नुहति डॉक्टर इलियाना सिडारिस्टी आम खूब नम्रतार सहित नवेदन रखू आम सहित मंचरे सामिल हेबे कारण संपूर्ण अलग किसी भिन्न संस्कृति भिन्न परंपरा भिन्न भाषा सबकि भिन्न थिला किंतु गुरुजी सहित अभिन्न है से भिन्नता को से आपणे नहीं एवं ଇଲିଆନା ସିଡାରିଷ୍ଟି ପୁଣି ଥରେ ଓଡ଼ିଶୀ ନୃତ୍ୟକାରର ଆଉ ଏକ ପରିଚିତ ନାମ ଭାବରେ ସଶ୍ରଦ୍ଧ ଉଚ୍ଚାରଣ ଭାବରେ ପରିଗଣିତ ହେଲେ। ତେଣୁ ଆମେ ନିବେଦନ ରଖିବୁ ଡକ୍ଟର ଇଲିଆନା ସିଡାରିଷ୍ଟି ମଧ୍ୟ ଆମ ସହିତ ମଞ୍ଚରେ ସାମିଲ ହେବେ ଏବଂ ଗୁରୁ ରତିକାନ୍ତ ମହାପାତ୍ର ମହୋଦୟଙ୍କୁ ନିବେଦନ ରଖିବୁ ତାଙ୍କୁ ପୁଷ୍ପଗୁଚ୍ଛ ଦେଇ ଶଙ୍ଖୁଳିବେ ମଞ୍ଚରେ।
Namaskar to everybody. I would like to say that I am so really happy to that all these things is happening and we are all here together and really all of us as is together with this feeling in our heart. I'm sure that we are all experiencing this kind of feeling and this kind of excitement, and it's really great. I think Guruji has, apart from all the things, also a inborn instinctive capacity of dealing psychologically in different way with each of us. So when I reached 1st of June 1979, I was very wild. So just come from student movement, revolution, feminism, hippie. So I naturally, I was not ready to change in 24 hours. And that actually his greatness was that he never imposed anything, I never forced anything, because otherwise probably I would have left, I would have totally rejected. So he just let it be. Then slowly the things would enter into me, this new world where I was emerging myself. And so slowly things happening on its own. BD, I stopped to smoke chillum and to smoke BD, and slowly of course the first day I went to the class, I was with a t-shirt and a pajama which was also torn, I didn't realize. So everything happened, so I started to release, wearing the sari, wearing some ornaments. And one day when finally I collected all my hair, which were very curling and all out, he just said, "Oh, finally I can see your face." So I never told him before to comb my hair and all these things. Other way I would have told him, why? If I don't feel like, I mean, feminism was there in me, so why should I? So all this, it was the first period. But the thing is that I told him that I will be staying 6 months, so maybe that also was a thought. He must have thought, okay, for 6 months I can tolerate whatever she does. Then 6 months became 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. 6 years I never went back home, never went back to Italy. So after 6 years, I think he had to finally become angry with me for some reason, which was not a great reason, but throw me out of the class. Other way, I would not have gone. Even in 85, after 6 years continuously having following him everywhere and all this thing, I would never have gone back. So that also was his input in my life, because I was happy that I could go back and recollect in my past and also start sharing whatever I had the privilege to have learned here. But the amazing thing is that he was so angry that he said, "I don't know why, but I can't teach you anymore." So for me, listening to that, it was like as if the earth under my feet was no more there. So I had got some invitation to go back, but I had already neglected that, because some Nachan Tirange was starting for the summer workshop, so I would never miss anything of him. So I went. So after 1 month when I came back, very afraid of what I would find, I just I went there. He was sitting in his chair in the Kathak and he just looked at me. Are, how went the program? So all that anger and all this thing was no more there. It was only that if that would not have happened, I would not have gone back home. So everything happened in this way. So, but the fact that I stayed for so long, sometimes there was also some strange thought on him. Maybe why she's not going back? Maybe she's some things were going on or something. Maybe she's a spy. Maybe she's dangerous. Maybe she has left somebody at home. Some daughter she must have. All these kind of things. Then finally, when she came back, she came to Italy with me for the first time in 1988. She saw what I left behind. She saw my parents. She saw whatever it was there in Italy. And she said to me, now I know, you are not dangerous, you are not a spy, you are just mad. Tumhe pura pagal ho. So that was all. In fact, I think I must have been mad because there was no other explanation. So, even then, after more than 15 years that I was following him everywhere, taking part of all the workshops, Delhi, Calcutta, Bombay, in Bombay, all the Bombay girls were there, in Calcutta, but I was always there. So in Kathak. So finally one day he said, "Bas, now don't attend the workshop anymore." So for me it was always to be refrain because my eagerness and my giddiness was too much. So from that time also started a new kind of association, in a sense that I was building my house, so he became a consultant. So I was going to him and ask, Guruji, se mane bali pani sangre kauna kette proportion koribi se dole koriba pai se dui to પાંચ ki tini to chari ki so he was given. Then if I need a plumber, I would ask him. I did my dance hall. I thought maybe it is little too big. So I went to him. Guruji said, 27 by 27 feet besi bode jibo. Nahi, kon bhabuchu. That you will be very happy. Do it big. So when the house was ready, the first time he came, he went to the dance hall. There was this lighting light into the window, and immediately the first thing he observed, ito no, tale ita east, ita west, ita north, ita south, immediately. I had never thought about it. So immediately it is his spirit of observation and reaction and creativity. We have talked about enough about that. So, and another experience, of course, has been to write the book on him. So that also it was privileged. I feel that really I have been somehow chosen by Lord Jagannath, I think, to have this mission, to write. When a publisher in Delhi suggested this, he said, nobody has written on him and you are associated with him, why don't you do it? So I came back home to Kathak. I said, Guruji, inke prakari kona koriba? Koriba, nishchoy. Koriba, excited, because whatever it was new for him, it was an excitement. He never stopped to anything. So our conversation started in the month of June when the workshop was going on in Bimatangi. And after 1 o'clock in the night, I would take because naturally middle of the night, take my car and he would sit there with it on his charpoy and my chair with my notebook. And we started to talk. And once in a while he will doze off. Then suddenly he will wake up and start again, exactly from where he stopped. So we went on like this for more than 1 month. And once in a while, he would halt and call, maybe something was not clear in his mind, he would call Charuappa, his wife, Lakshmi Priyadevi, and she will come and very calmly either approve or suggest or a little bit argue, but it was with so much tenderness that every time he was listening to her and approve what she will tell. And so it's her presence, we know very well how has been determinant in his life. And whenever a new composition would happen, Guru Ma would have to be there.
And somebody yesterday mentioned that her influence, maybe we don't know how much it was, but when in the course of the life story, he reached the point that he said how he proposed to her on the stage of the Annapurna, a group in Puri. He proposed with a rose on the stage, and Guruma was present there, and she felt shy. Like a very young Mugdha Naika. So it was so tender. So all these moments are very. Then whenever he couldn't make me understand, like when he talked about the Pannabarojo. The Pannabarojo, I never saw a Pannabarojo before. So he started to draw naturally, because his instinct to draw, it is very Chitrakara Puo. He was there in him, so immediately he would draw, and then he would start explaining to me with mudra how the leaf would be black, how the tender end of the gripper would be brought down, and so everything was so like a dance choreography that he was doing. But so from there I remember, so that Krishna doing the bed of leaves in Adhira Samire. From there this mudra came, and it came from his life experience. So it was all this learning for me from during this experience. So and of course when then it was interesting, of course, when he started talking about his relation with this Guru Mansundar Deva Goswami, that he became very emotional. I didn't know about him. It was so precious to know how much influence Mansundar Deva Goswami had on Guruji. And the personality of Mansundar Deva Goswami, it was so similar to Guruji. His total commitment, his spiritual relation with this art, his versatility, which was including so many aspects, not only the dance, music, and everything he imbibed from his guru. And he really, talking about him, and when he reached the point that he had to tell me the episode for which he left Mansundar Deva Goswami, because he was unjustly accused of something which happened in the house, which it was not his fault. He had run away to see some movie, some Kankan or something movie, which he had seen already 20 times, but something disappeared from the house, some gold. So the Guruji's wife thought that maybe it's Kelu. So when he came back and he heard that, he was hurt, and he left. And when he told me these episodes, he cried that night. So really, it was another type of, as I said, privileged experience that I could get by writing the book on him. And then one thing I should say, that he was so respectful about whatever contribution he got from so many people in his formation, not only from his guru, but so many people. And he mentioned many of them, and I had the opportunity to meet and to talk with many of them, because they were still alive in the 90s. It was in 98 I started to write this. But one thing I should say, and many of them, they told me that they were being the first to have done this, the first to have contributed to this event, the first one to have connected with this, the only person who never told me that he was being the first to do anything has been Guruji. All through his story, he never told me that he was the first to innovate this, the first to do this. So this kind of humility we all know, and it has been mentioned in so many ways. So it's the legacy he respected. He really give so much merit and credit to all the people who helped him to become what he is, and he kept on growing and growing and growing. So it was when finally the book was printed, and then I came back to Cuttack with the first copy, So I went to his house and I said, Guruji, close your eyes. So he closed the eyes, so then I said, okay, now open. And I was just standing there with the book. And when he said, Charu, 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 come. He called excitedly, then he went on. He went to see all the pages, all the photo, and he was saying, Sibu, when he was 3 years, all through the book, like a small boy enjoying the toy which has been given to him. And when it was released in Delhi, the book, in IIC, he was there, and when he talked, he gave the speech. He said, I cannot read what it is in the book, but I trust Ileana, and I'm sure that he has done a good job. So for me, it was the best blessing that I could receive. And thinking that I am the person who probably got the maximum number of sola all through my training. so this is Guruji. Till the end, yeah. He never stopped that. I always been Sola. I didn't have any other names. but then I think it was a blessing, because in spite of that, he could praise. Even when I present my first production, Maya Darpana, I remember in '97, it was organized by Padatik, one choreography festival. Jailam is here, so we worked together, and then she knows that when we went, we were a little bit afraid to hear from him his comments. But when we went to his house after the performance, he told a choreographic masterpiece. I thought I have not heard properly. Choreographic masterpiece, but tomorrow you will hear. So next day I heard it was demolished by the entire community, saying that it was not this, it was not this, it was that. So this man, tradition and innovation, an incredible combination of tradition and innovation, I think he was. Because he understood, he also asked me, I didn't understand exactly in that point what he wanted to it was the point in which the Mirage was, what he wanted. So he was open. It was open-minded, and that is a virtue which is very rare to find here. Very rare, I can tell you, after 45 years of staying in Orissa. So open-minded, and this is what Guruji was. So in spite of all this, then for his sense of humor, when he got Padma Vibhushan in 2000, nobody was in Kathak, and all other places, many celebration happened in Bombay, Delhi, and all these things. So it was maybe April or something. So no students were there. So I thought I should do something. So I did a tableau with flowers written with Padma Vibhushan, and I kept it at home at his house because he was not there. So the next day, when I went, Guruma called him, hey, Ileana asked you. So he went to took the tableau, stayed in front of the gate, and started dancing with holding the tableau like this. So this is what Guruji saw. So I'm very, I think one of the best celebration that I'm sure he would appreciate, he would enjoy, would be also that we keep on his choreography as much as possible as he composed it. All of us know how he became upset. He was upset when he would see some modification of some changes we can't say improvement, but some modification, some distortion, he would really be upset, and his eagerness to try to save them, he brought him to try to sketch each what the work he started in the research center, each pose, each minute bhangi. So that was his eagerness to codify and to make sure that his composition would remain as it was. So I think all of us has this duty and this responsibility, not only to the people whom we are teaching, but also to make sure that they will teach in the same way. So we should teach in such a way that we make sure that they write down the things. Somehow we should make sure that the future also will continue with the composition as and how he has made it. So thank you very much to all of you to be here, and I'm very, very happy to be with all of you. Thank you.
आमे अनेक अनेक कृतज्ञता अर्पण करुचे डॉक्टर इलियाना स्टारिस्टी महोदय निकट में बाल्य सुलभ चपलता को निज भितर साइती रखी परंपरार आधार में सृजनशीलता को सफल समन्वित करी सफलतार शीर्ष स्पर्श करिवार कुशली कारीगर थिले पद्मविभूषण गुरु केलुचरण महापात्र महोदय। आमे निवेदन रखिबु एहा पर एक विशेष भेटी अच्छी आपण मानक पई जे गुरुजी पई समर्पित होईची कि से भेटी आमे निवेदन रखिबु गुरु रतिकांत महापात्र को से भेटी आपण को बांटीबे।
One of Guruji's die-hard fan, Shri Ashok Lal, Kumkum Appa's husband, he was a great friend of Guruji and a great teacher of Guruji also. Because when Guruji used to stay at Kumkum Appa's house in Delhi, before he could go for the performance, Ashok Bhai would come and tap his shoulder. He said, "Dekho beta, जाके ताल ठीक रखना, अच्छा डांस करना और नाम रोशन करना और केयरफुल एंड बी केयरफुल." तो अभी जब कुमकुम अप्पा आई तो उन्होंने एक गुरुजी के बारे में पोएम लिखा है और फ़ोन पे जब बात हो रहा था अशोक भाई ने बोला कि शिबू मैंने गुरुजी को बहुत याद कर रहा हूँ और उनके लिए कुछ लिखा है। और जब वो बोल रहे थे मतलब गला भर आ रहा था। एंड रात को हम लोग जब बैठ के खाना खाते थे अशोक भाई हमेशा एक ऑरेंज ड्रिंक दिया करते थे, स्पेशल ऑरेंज ड्रिंक टू गुरुजी। तो उन्होंने कुछ लिखा है और उन्होंने खुद गाया भी है। तो आई वुड लाइक टू प्ले एंड पे दैट अशोक भाई ट्रिब्यूट टू गुरुजी।
गुरु अभिनंदन करते हैं सब जन, आशीर्वादों की बारिश है हर छिन। गुरु अभिनंदन करते हैं सब जन, आशीर्वादों की बारिश है हर छिन। गुरु अभिनंदन किरणों का साया निरंतर तुम्हारा है, राहों में सबकी तुम्हारा उजाला। क्षितिज बन गए हो हमारे जतन के, चरण छू सके यही अरमां हमारा। गुरु अभिनंदन करते हैं सब जन, आशीर्वादों की बारिश है हर छिन। गुरु अभिनंदन।
I'm sure Ashok Bhai will be very happy, and it is being live streamed. I hope Ashok Bhai is seeing that on live streaming, and through you, Kumkum Appa, all of us, all the Guruji's extended family gathered here. Thank you. Please give our gratitude to Ashok Bhai and say thanks on all behalf of us. Thank you so much.
आम पुणी थे ये मंचर अशोक लाल जी को गुरु केलुचरण महापात्र परिवार तरफ अनेक अनेक कृतज्ञता अर्पण करुचु जे आज आम भितर से इच्छा अच्छी जे पुणी थे जीवदशार गुरुजी को प्राप्त कर चरण स्पर्श कर इच्छा एवं भी आम भितर बलवत्तर अच्छी मो नवेदन रखी गुरु शिष्यर परंपरा को आउ टे मजबूत कर भावादर्श को भावावेग को आग को नौथिबा आम समय ओडिसी नृत्य जगतर आउ जड़े सश्रद उच्चारण और अंतकरण गुरुजी को निज सर्वस्व भावुवा गुरु श्रीमती अरुणा महांती महोदय अच्छा आम मान गहन गुरु डॉक्टर अरुणा महांती महोदय को आम नम्र नवेदन रखिबू कि मुहूर्त पर आम पाखे पहुँचे मो पाखे खबर पहुँची श्रेणी बोली एवं नवेदन रखिबू आम गहन गुरुजी अन्यतम सफल सृष्टि देवी वासु महोदय अच्छा आम गहन आम नम्र नवेदन रखा आम सहित मंच में सामिल हे और गुरुजी स्मृतिचारण करेंगे स्मृतिर सिंधु करू आउ कि अमूल्य रत्न को भेटी देवे पुणी आउ थे गुरुजी परिवार को देवी वासु महोदय आशा करी पुणी एक मीठा करताली आपण मान पाखर गुरुजी चरणार बिंदे पुष्पार्घ्य समर्पण करी पुणी थे आशीर्वाद को व्याख्या करी कारण प्रतिनित्य आशीर्वाद व्यतीत हुए तो पादरे घुंगुर बंधा जा पार ये अनुभूति आम समस्त अच्छी आज पुणी थे से परंपरार पुनरावृत्ति आम गुरु रतिकांत महापात्र महोदय को नवेदन रखिबू पुष्पगुच्छ और स्मृति फलक दे देवी वासु महोदय को संबर्धित करने धन्यवाद।
First of all, I really want to thank Srijan, Odisha Research Center and the government who have arranged this program. It's such a pleasure to see all our friends, dancer friends together and share all the moments how we learned from Guruji. It was a great thank you Shivu so much. So I don't know whether in future again we'll have a chance all of us to meet like this. Anyway, my first meeting Guruji should be, I should tell, because I was in Bombay and I was dying to learn Odissi. I don't know why. Who knows? I don't remember 45 years back mein kya hua tha, yaad nahi. But I told my husband Tapan, I have to learn Odissi. So Tapan bola, Bombay mein where? And then our friends, that Basu Bhattacharya, he said that, हाँ ये है ना हमारा गोपी कृष्ण बहुत अच्छा लड़का है, उसके पास कथक सीखो। अब बोला कथक नहीं सीखेंगे हम ओडिसी सीखेंगे। देन से गुरु बासुदास वाइफ बोला, हाँ प्रतिमा किसी के पास सीखता है ऐसा है तो उधर प्रतिमा के पास जाओ। देन बासुदास नहीं प्रतिमा के पास नहीं जाने का। They were so scared of Pratima anyway, but I went there to Pratima and Pratima said, अरे next week Guruji starting workshop in Calcutta, Padatik. So you go. I said, how can it be? My son was only 2 years old. Usko chhod ke kaise jayenge? Then my husband says that if you want to gain something, you have to lose something. And if you want to learn something, you have to go to the best person. So there is no other choice. So I went to Calcutta. I was sitting in a corner because I know nothing. How can I go to such a great guru? But Guruji was like, आजकल यंगर जनरेशन के लिए जैसा अमिताभ बच्चन होता है ऐसा great hero. So I was thinking, while going in the roads of Calcutta, I was thinking that whenever I saw young girls going, I said, they must be going to Guruji. All of them must be going to Guruji. It's like that. And I went there and I was sitting in a corner. I was not talking, and then everybody, all these girls, all those girls were there. They were talking to Guruji animatedly, and then finally Guruji called me. So Then I said, Guruji, I don't know anything. मुझे कुछ भी मालूम नहीं. But I have to learn Odissi. The Guruji said that, Guruji, I was going on telling that I don't know anything, and Guruji was looking at me. Then he said that, ये तुम्हारा सच्ची है? I said, हाँ गुरुजी, beauty spot नहीं है? I said, नहीं. ठीक है. That is the interview. That from tomorrow, 8 o'clock in the morning, you should come. Till 8 o'clock in the night, you have to be there. No break in between. कुछ खाना डब्बा में लेके आना, वो खा लेना दोपहर को, ऐसा. And that's how it started. Such vigorous training. I don't know. My knees used to get swollen, and गुरुजी थोड़ा ही दर्द होता है, वो थोड़ा हाथ ऐसे से लगा लो, फिर डांस करो. And that was the beginning, the starting of my journey to Odissi. And I don't know how he understood that ये clay मिला, एक नरम नरम clay, उसको कुछ भी कर सकता है. तो इसीलिए when I went for the summer workshop, for the whole month, I had to learn 12 items. I don't know how I survived. But he was just thinking that she has to go on learning. And I tried, because I was very sincere. I tried very much. And then there, with so many things we have learned, how to be respectful towards others and all this. वो सब तो है. But the thing is, after the end of that vigorous workshop, when I came back to Bombay, my son was saying, you look like a witch, because these things were all gone inside. Then Guruma put so many kind of bangles on my hand, and the tikka. So anyway, but all those things had gone. Then I want to share one or two very interesting stories. I don't think many people know about it. That's why. And for the younger generation also, they should know how things happen. So one fine day, Hariji was doing some for the Vrindavan, for his institution. He was doing some. Maybe that was the last time this happened, that whole night festival. The whole night festival with all the great gurus Jugalbandi, like Bhimsen Joshi, Balakrishna Burari, एक साथ, Pandit Jasraj और एक साथ, Hariji, Shivji एक साथ, all those things. Only for dance, he kept Birju Maharaji and Guruji, Jugalbandi. But he invited Guruji, and Guruji said, no, man, I don't know why. He lost his Guruji's mother. I don't know. He was Takla. I don't know why. He said, no, he won't go. So then Hariji called me up and said, तुम्हारा Guru को समझाओ ना, it's a very important thing and all this. And then I tried to coax, and then my husband also said that you have to come. Then he said that if I come, अभी तेरा घर में रहेगा, अब होटल में नहीं रहेगा. अच्छा ठीक है. Rehearsal उधर ही होगा. अच्छा ठीक है. All this हुआ. Guruji came, and Tapan arranged that community center for them to practice. And then Birju Maharaji came, Saraswati with all the musicians. सब लोग को भेज दिया कि community center में. Around 12 o'clock I went there with some coffee and some snacks. And I saw they are all sitting and gossiping. Where are they? That night is the program. So kuch bhi nahi, they were just enjoying themselves. Then I realized, my God, now I'll have to arrange for lunch. It won't finish. So I came back home, cooked a lot of food. And then around 3 o'clock, Guruji, the bell rang. Daraja khola, Guruji standing. Guruji asked me, I said, Hey, आ जाओ, सब लोग आ जाओ, हम लोग खाना खाएंगे. So that's why. And हो गया. Those days in Sunday evening, we used to have this Doordarshan ka one film. So Guruji is very interested, so always.
तो आई सेड गुरु जी फिल्म चलो चलो. गुरु जी से तुम लोग अभी मेरा एग्जाम है, अभी तो हम नहीं जा सकते. एंड देन झेलम वाज आल्सो देयर आई सपोज. तो गुरु जी कॉल्ड अस से अच्छा कर तो बावन अवतार क्यों करेगा, फिर भी करा किया. एंड देयर समथिंग एल्स ही वांटेड टू राम का कुछ भंगी पूछा. फिर गुरु जी का हम बोला गुरु जी ये क्या किस लिए लगेगा, वो तो श्रृंगार मुझे लगा. वो जो कौन गली ना, कौन गली गए शाम, बिरजू महाराज जी के पिताजी का एक पोएम. तो इधर ये क्या वामन अवतार ये सब क्या कैसे लगेगा गुरु जी मुझे आ रहे मालूम नहीं. मेरा साथ अभी एसटीडी कॉल हो गया प्रभु के साथ. प्रभु को पूछा प्रभु कहाँ आप चरण रखे थे, जहाँ जहाँ चरण रखे मेरे प्रभु जी बस देयर. तो आप कहाँ चरण रखे थे, तो प्रभु जी बोले यार ये तो वामन के सर का ऊपर, अल्लाह के सर का ऊपर. That's how it's composed. And late night, 3 o'clock, the performance was there. It was mind-boggling. I can't imagine how it happened. So many people still remember that. After that, that became very popular. Na? They did this Jugalbandi together many more times. And ऐसा तो है. और एक बार Guruji, the Nritya Parva was arranged for this in Bhubaneswar. So all the teachers dancing, and all the gurus are dancing. तो हम सबका डांस हो गया. The day before, the last day was Guruji performing. तो सुबह उठ के बोला देवी एक चांदी का थाली में जितना पूजा का सब कुछ हो सकता है सब लेके आ जाओ. हाँ बोला पूजा का सब कुछ चांदी का थाली. आई वॉज लुकिंग ऑल अराउंड चांदी का थाली. गुरुजी चांदी का थाली, मेरा घर में चांदी का थाली नहीं है. एक अवार्ड फटक से निकाला दीवार से. टू छोटे छोटे तबला, वन छोटा सा सितार, वो सब निकाल दिया. ये देख चांदी का थाली. तो मैं वो सब कुछ सजाया, सब कुछ किया. ओनली पंचू हियर नहीं रे. तो पंचू को बोला क्या पंचू हमारा टाइम नहीं है, तू थोड़ा चंदन किसके देख. गुरुजी बोला पूरा जैसा पूजा होगा सब कुछ रहना चाहिए. धूप अगरबत्ती माने प्रदीप एंड देन बेलपत्ता ये सब कुछ और चंदन. तो अब पंचू तू थोड़ा चंदन भर के देना, हम रेडी हो रहे हैं. तो आई वॉज गेटिंग रेडी. पंचू फिर भूल ही गया. फिर while we are going, we are sitting on the car with a big plate on my lap, and पंचू भाग के आया, मेरा हाथ में कुछ दिया. तो I thought this is a pan he gave me, क्योंकि केला का पत्ता में वो चंदन डाल के दिया मुझे. And I thought it's a pan. I put it in my mouth and I know, my God, this is the chandan, what to do? I took it out and I said, Jagannath, गाड़ी तो चल रहा है अभी. अब जगन्नाथ कुछ नहीं, बोले प्लीज माफ कर दो मुझे, I can't do anything now. तो वो चंदन ऐसा ही रख दिया. And I was so scared. Guruji's entry was stunning. Was stunning. So Guruji just came with the thali and everything is burning, the pradeep is burning. It was superb, Dinabandhu. So Guruji came and the music was going on. He did puja for 5 minutes, everything. And that time I said, Bhagwan, mujhe maaf kar do. And that program, I don't know, the audience was crying, everybody was crying. After he finished, he was sitting in front of Jagannath. Pankaj sir, Babu sir aaya, the joint customer, they came, they wanted to give him some award, something. He is not moving, he is sitting there. Tum log aa jao idhar. I have reached, so tum log aa jao. So everybody, that was a beautiful story. I don't want to talk much, it's getting late. Thank you so much.
एकथा तो सत जे राशि राशि कथा राशि राशि गाथा आउ राशि राशि स्मृति को सज्जीवित कला बेले समय नियंत पड़ा एक स्वाभाविक प्रक्रिया। समय सरी सरी जाउथिबो किंतु मन भरू नथिबो, हृदय भरू नथिबो, मन चाहूथिबो आहुरी सुनिबा पाई, अतीत को आउ थरे वर्तमान रे रूपांतरित करिबा पाई। ए मध्य एक स्वाभाविक प्रक्रिया एवं गुरुजी परी जन महान अध्याय को आपण केते पृष्ठा पर पृष्ठा उन्मोचित करेंगे से पृष्ठा नियंत पड़ो, शब्द नियंत पड़ो, किंतु भावना सेमिति सज्जीवित थिबा आम भितर असरंती भावनार अनन्य राशि राशि कथा। तेज आज आम गहन में उपस्थित अच्छा जी मर्दल वादन समय आमे माने व्यक्तिगत भाव में अनेक कंपोजिशन एकाठी बसला बेले कहती ए बाजा केड़ू सार करथिले, ए बाजा मु तांको शिखी, ए बाजार प्रयोग विधि मु केड़ू सार शिखी। बोधे एमती अजस्र बार आम शुणु एवं गुरुजी जीवदशार सहित सानिध्य लाभ कर शिखबारे एकत्र काम कर से महार्घ सुजोग लाभ कर गुरु सच्चिदानंद दास महोदय। आम नवेदन रखू आम सहित मंच में सामिल होगापाई एवं गुरुजी सहित बीतई से अभूला मुहूर्त को बखाणीवाई। निवेदन रखू गुरु रतिकांत महापात्र महोदय को पुष्पगुच्छ स्मृति चिन्ह दे संवर्धित करने। धन्यवाद। एवं गुरु सच्चिदानंद दास महोदय।
ओडिशा सरकार भाषा साहित्य संस्कृति विभाग गुरु केलुचरण महापात्र ओडिसी रिसर्च सेंटर एवं सृजन द्वारा आयोजन करा जाउथिबा गुरुजी कीर्ति शतकम उत्सव रे उपस्थित थिबा विबुध मंडली एवं नृत्यशिल्पी गायक गायिका वाद्यशिल्पी एवं छात्र छात्री बसचंती समस्त को प्रणाम जनाऊँ। मु सार संगे केमी जड़ित से संपर्क में कहबी टिके कारण समस्ते नृत्य कथा कही सारे। सार आउ गोटे दिग थिला मर्दलवादक जहाँपाई आमे आपण सामने भी छिड़ा छिड़ा न मर्दलक जदिओ ओडिशा रे बाजुला एक स्वतंत्र धारा स्वतंत्र व्याकरण समाप्त करी ताकू नृत्य संगे बजई काली कथा पड़ा बहुत विद्वान लोक बहुत बहुत कथा कही। सार गोटे बड़ मैथमेटिशियन थे आपण मैंने स्टडी कर देखिए जिते गुड़े आइटम अच्छी एक तारी ताल में 7-8टा आइटम थिले मध्य पल्लवी कौ पल्लवीर कौ स्टेपिंग सामान नुहे कौ पल्लवीर कौ बाजा लाइन भी सामान नुहे यहाँ आप फिल कर मोटू अधिक जानते समस्ते कितु मुझे कथा मन पकई कह पड़ो कौच आप काली आप देखिले संकरण पल्लवी 1 तारीख बेहाग पल्लवी देखिले जोड़ाक 1 तारीख आकाश पाताल फरक एवं नृत्य जदि बिलाहारी पल्लवी गोटे भंगी नृत्य कर शिवक बंडा धरिकी संकरण पल्लवी से ना आरोही पल्लवी से ना किरबाणी पल्लवी से ना ये सब जिन अलग आप मोटू अधिक जानते से कहबी। केलुचरण महापात्र ना शुणिले आमको आश्चर्य लगे केमती टिकेट कर देखु कि क्लास 5 रे जिते बेले पढ़ुलु गीतनाट्य हुए ढोलक बाजे गुरु केलुचरण महापात्र ना आम शुणु तेल प्रथम आसी देखिलु गुरु केलुचरण महापात्र कहले आश्चर्य विषय आम आम सौभाग्य आम सेकेंड इयर सार परीक्षा आसिले प्रथम लेखा 78 मसीह जिते ओडिसी गवेषणा केन्द्र खोला 83 मसीह पदार्थिक जावाक मत सार कहले मोर दुर्भाग्य मुझे जापारि किंतु विशेष सौभाग्य अर्जन कली मु जानी पुत्र मोर बंधु रतिकांत महापात्र प्रथम सौभाग्य अर्जनकारी मर्दल वादन द्वितीय सौभाग्यकारी व्यक्तित्व मु सार मत सब गाड़ी दिखती हे मुंडटा कुंडे चिकिड़ा कर टोकाटे बाजाटा टे गमक कर चिकिड़ा कर बजाऊ हाड़ी भाया कौन बजाऊ सार डायलग ହାଡ଼ି ଭଳିଆ ବଜାଉଛୁ, ମୁଣ୍ଡଟା ଚିକେନ କୁଣ୍ଡେଇଛୁ। ଧା ତେତେ ଧାଗେ ତେତେ ତିନ୍ଦା କହିଲା, ଧା ତେତେ ଧାଗେ ତେତେ ତିନ୍ଦା। ଆଉ ଥରେ ବନ୍ଧୁ ରତିକାନ୍ତ ମହାପାତ୍ର ଆଉ ସୁଜାତା ମହାପାତ୍ର ନାଚୁଛନ୍ତି ବମ୍ବେରେ, ଜଟାଟ ବିଗଲ ହେଉଛି। ଗୋଟେ ଲାଇନ୍ କହୁଛି, ମାନେ ବହୁତ କଥା କହିବାକୁ ଅଛି, ମାନେ ଯାହା ସେ କହିଗଲେ ଇତିହାସ ଲେଖିଲେ ସବୁ ଇତିହାସ ପୃଷ୍ଠା ନିଅଣ୍ଟ ହେବ ସାରଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ। ସେ ଏମିତି ଗୋଟେ ବ୍ୟକ୍ତିତ୍ୱ। ଥରେ ବମ୍ବେ ରିହର୍ସାଲ ହେଉଛି, ଜଟାଟ ବିଗଲ ଜଳ। ଦେଖନ୍ତୁ ଗୀତ ଯାହା ବାଜାଟା ସେଇଆ, ତା ଦେଇ ତା ଦେଇ ତା ଦେଇ ତା, ଜଟାଟ ବିଗଲ ଜ୍ୱଲ ପ୍ରବାହ ପାବିତ ସ୍ଥଳେ, ତା ଦେଇ ତା ଦେଇ ତା ଦେଇ ତା, ଜେଣାମ ତା ଦିଗନ ତା ଦେ ଜେଣା କିତା ତା ଦେଇ ତା ଦେଇ ତା। କେଳୁ ସାରଙ୍କର ବଜେଇବାଟା ଥିଲା କବିତା ଭଳିଆ। एकथा लीला भेंकटरमण थे कहले कि बड़ प्लेइंग ऑफ गुरु केळुचरण महापात्र इज लाइक ए पोएट्री जोटा एवरीबडी शुड लर्न। आम शिक्षा उचित सार को बाजा कविता काली देखिले आप अभिनय होती गोटे कौन है जो गीत प्रथम गीत था मैडम कले पद्मश्री कुमकुमाती करगले आउ गोटे इटा है धीर छवि ना कौन है आउ गोटे जो कराला ताल समान मंगलाचरण बटू पल्लवी अभिनय सार एमती गोटे स्वतंत्र बादर शैली काढ़ी क्या सागे कहीं मिसबेनि यहीटा हूँ क्लासिकाल सिस्टम एपर्यंत सागे मो सौभाग्य 88 वर्ष आरंभ कर 15 वर्ष मिसिली मु शुणे सी केमी बजाऊँ साउंड मत आट्राक्ट कला मो जीवन गतिपथ से बदलीगला बहुत गाड़ी देखते शुद्ध मूल कर मत फेरी दी दिन गिनी बजेगी गिरी बजेगी 10,000 टका देते 90 मसीह सेटाक मन पास व्यस्त रखिए से बहुत मुझे व्यस्त रखा सार विरक्त होती सार या विरक्त होती जी कर सार अलग लोक विरक्त हूँ जी न कर आउ गोटे कथा थे कलिकता मैडम प्रोग्राम से बिजु बाहर सार नाचे गोटे कौन ये गीत संगीता मैडम गाँव कथा ये गीत खाली है सन्ध्या प्रोग्राम बिरला हाउस राति सार रूम रे मत रहा पड़ा सार कहले मु मिछ कथा कहली आभोट कहली सार कौन रही कष्ट लगे मुझे मोर रिजर्व ना कि ना मुझे आप रही मत कहले हाँ रिजर्व नवा आमेरिका रिजर्व 6टी गोटे पुड़िया देले गोटा को मत मसे लेके बसे पड़ेगा मसे थिएटर कहली मुझे आप तो एत गाड़ी दिखती गला बेलू जाता गाड़ी दिखती प्रोग्राम गोटे कल्चा भूल ना किसी कहती ना रे मु चेष्टा करे स्टेज को जीवा पर्यंत ताको खाद्य खुआए से जी दक्षता सहित खाद्य हजम कर दब ना हम जब स्टेज भूल कर मुझे कहीं कह थे बंधु नाचुंट आम रतिकांत महापात्र बंधु सार मु बजाऊँ दिल्ली में जिनिसटा अच्छी ताक 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 दादी नाक दी ना ताक ताती अच्छी मु मूर्खटा धरी पकड़ी तिता तेरे तक तेरे ताक 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 दी तीन ताक ताक तीन धरी पकड़ी दिया पत्र गला ता किसी कहले थे जो थम धरी धी नाक ताक 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 ता धरी पकड़े मुझे जाइए भूल करदेली सार बजे दी गले खाइलु मत चिकेन दौरान मु भावुँ सार डर अच्छी सार कौन कहे जे कहीं आज भूल कलु सार से कथा किसी कहती आउ गोटे बड़ कथा सब लोग प्रोग्राम कले आज नाचिली आज गाइली बढ़िया गली लोक बहुत प्रशंसा कले सार मोर एमती व्यक्तित्व थिला सार कौदिन प्रशंसाटा करती यहाँ आपण मैंने मोटू अधिक जानते आउ जो रत्नमहिलार आम वाद्य को दे गले जदि आम वाद्य भाई मैंने सब मैंने वादन कर स्टडी करेंगे सी गोटे ग्रेट मैथमेटिशियन ताको वाद्य बुझी भी हेनी ये कहते आम सोनाल मैडम बांसिंग मैडम कहीदे गले जो देई ता किटा आजिकल तो किए शिक्षा को राजी होना से पचारे किए बेसी ज्ञानी ना जिज्ञासु जार जानवा इच्छा अच्छी जार जानवा इच्छा ना जे ज्ञानी हो गला से आउ शिखबनी एबे भी मु भावे मो स्टूडेंट सार थे सार साउंड दिन तीन नाक थी ता तीन नाक थी दिन तीन नाक थी ता देखो सेकेंड कम्बिनेसन दिन तीन नाक थी ता तीन नाक थी ता तीन नाक थी ता तृतीय शुणु दिन तीन नाक थी तीन नाक थी ता ଚତୁର୍ଥ ଧାତିନ ତିନା କଥିରି ତାତିନ ତିନା କଥିରି ତାତିନ ତିନା କଥିରି ନା କଥିରି ଧାଗେଧା ତିନିଟା କାଲି ଚାଷ ହେଉଥିଲେ ବାରବଣ ଆଉଥିଲେ ସାର୍ ପୃଥିବୀର ଆମ ଓଡ଼ିଶାରେ ଏତେ ଗୁଡ଼ିଏ ବାଦ୍ୟ ଥିଲେ ବି ତାକୁ ସବୁ ବାଦ୍ୟର ପାଟରେ ଆଣିକିରି ଓଡ଼ିଶୀ ନୃତ୍ୟରେ ଏମିତି ଆପ୍ଲାଏ କରିଛନ୍ତି କ୍ଲାସିଫିକେସନ୍ କରିକିରି ଦିନଟା ଆଠଟା ଆଠଟା ଦିନ ତା ଦେଇ ତ୍ରେଗେ ଦେଇ ତା ଦେଇ ତ୍ରେଗେ ଦେଇ ତା ତିନି ତାକ ତା ତିନି ତାକ ତିନି ଥିଲା ତା ଦିନା କରିତକ ଯେଉଁଟା ଓଡ଼ିଶୀକୁ ଡିଫରେନ୍ସିଏଟ୍ କ୍ରିଏଟ୍ କରୁଛି ଯେ ଏଇଟା ହେଉଛି ଓଡ଼ିଶୀ ନୃତ୍ୟ। ଭାରତବର୍ଷରେ ଢୋଲକ ଖଜୁରୀ ତବଲା ନାଁରେ ଏତେ ବାଦ୍ୟ ଥିଲେ ମଧ୍ୟ ସାର୍ଙ୍କ ବାଦ୍ୟ ଷ୍ଟାଇଲ୍ ଏମିତି କରିଛନ୍ତି ଲୀଳା ଦିଦି ଗୀତରେ ଦିନି ତାକେ ତାତି ନାକେ ତାତି ନାକେ ତାତି ଦିନା ତାକେ ଦାଦି ନାକେ ଦିନା କେତେ ତାକେ ଦେଇ ଦାତି ତାକେ ଦିନି ତାକେ ଦେଇ ଦାତି ଦାଦକରେ ତାତି ଦାଦକରି এইটা ଓଡ଼ିଶୀ ଶୈଳୀକୁ ସ୍ୱତନ୍ତ୍ରତା କରୁଛି। ଓଡ଼ିଶୀ ସଙ୍ଗୀତକୁ ବାଦ୍ୟକୁ ନୃତ୍ୟକୁ ସାର୍ଙ୍କର ଅବଦାନ ଅଜସ୍ର ଲେଖି ହେବନି ଯେଉଁଟାକୁ ସମସ୍ତେ ଯଦି ଶିଖିକି ସେଇ ଧାରାକୁ ଅବଲମ୍ବନ କରି ଆମେ କ୍ରିଏଟ୍ କରିବା ତାହେଲେ ଆମ ଜିନିଷର ମୌଳିକତା ବଞ୍ଚି ରହିବ। ଏବେ ସମସ୍ତ ଶସ୍ତା ଗୋଟେ ଜିନିଷ କେଉଁ ଲୋକ ଜାଣିବେନି ଗତିବେତ ବୋଲି ଗୋଟେ ପଲବି ଇଚ୍ ଆଣ୍ଡ ଏଭ୍ରି ଷ୍ଟୁଡେଣ୍ଟ ସୁଡ୍ ଲର୍ନ କେମିତି ଚାରି ମାତ୍ରାରେ ପାଞ୍ଚ ମାତ୍ରା 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 ଦିନା ଦି ଦିନା ତିନା ଦି ଦିନା ତାକ ସାର୍ କଲେ ତାକିଟେ ତାକ ଦିନି ତାକିଟେ ତାକ ଦିନି ଏକ ଦୁଇ ତିନି ଯାଏ ତାକିଟେ ତାକ ତେଣୁ ସାର୍ ସେଇଥିପାଇଁକି ଗୋଟେ ତିସ୍ର ମିଶ୍ର ଖଣ୍ଡ ସଂକୀର୍ଣ୍ଣ ଯେଉଁ ଆଡ଼ି କୁଆଡ଼ି ବିଆଡ଼ି ଲୟ ଅଛି ଆମ ସଙ୍ଗୀତରେ ତାକୁ ବ୍ୟବହାର କରିଛନ୍ତି କିନ୍ତୁ ଆମେ ଦୁଇଟା ଆଇଟମ୍ ଶିଖିଗଲି ମୁଁ ମହା ବିଦ୍ୱାନ ହେଇଗଲି ମୁଁ ବହୁତ ବାଧା ଜାଣିଛି ଏ ଭାବନା ଆମ ମନରେ ରହୁଛି ମୋର ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ଦିସ୍ ଇଜ୍ ମାଇ ହମ୍ବୁଲ୍ ରିକ୍ୱେଷ୍ଟ ଟୁ ଅଲ୍ ମାଇ ଷ୍ଟୁଡେଣ୍ଟସ୍ ଅଲସୋ ସମସ୍ତେ ସବୁଦିନ ସଙ୍ଗୀତ ଅଭ୍ୟାସ କରିବେ ଅନ୍ୟର ପରଫର୍ମାନ୍ସ ଦେଖିବେ ଯୋଉଟା କଥା ତୃତୀୟ କଥା ତାକୁ କିନି ଭିନି କରି ଟିକିରି କରି ଷ୍ଟଡି କରିବେ କେଉଁଟା ରଙ୍ଗ କେଉଁଟା ରାଇଟ୍ এইটা କେଳୁ ସାର୍ଠୁ ଆମେ ଶିଖିଲୁ ଆଉ ସବୁବେଳେ କହିବେ ଏ ହାଡ଼ି ଭଳିଆ କ'ଣ ବଜାଉଛୁ ଜାଣୁନୁ ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ମର୍ଦ୍ଦଳର ଆବାଳ ବୃଦ୍ଧ ବନିତା ସେ ରିପେୟାର କରିଦେବେ କିରଣ କରିଦେବେ ଥରେ ଯାଇଥିଲେ କୋଣାର୍କ ଗୋଟେ ପକେଟ କିରଣ କମ୍ ଅଛି ବଜେଇବେ ସେ ପକେଟକୁ ତାକୁ ନେଇ ଗୋଟେ ଦୁଆରକୁ ଗଲେ ଯାଇକି କିରଣ କଲେ ସନ୍ଧ୍ୟା ସେ ଯାହା ବାଜିଲା କହିବନି ଆଉ ତାଙ୍କର ସାଉଣ୍ଡ ଯେଉଁ ପ୍ରଡ୍ୟୁସ୍ କରିବା ଦୁଇ ସାଇଡ଼ରୁ ମର୍ଦ୍ଦଳରୁ ସମସ୍ତ ଶିକ୍ଷା ଦରକାର ମାନେ କେଉଁ ଭଳିଆ ଭାଇବ୍ରେସନ୍ ତାଙ୍କର ବାଦ୍ୟ ଗୁଡ଼ିକ ଆଜିକାଲି ମାର୍କେଟରେ ସମସ୍ତେ ବ୍ୟବହାର କରୁଛନ୍ତି ଗୋଟେ ନମ୍ବର 1 ଦିନ ରାତି ନାକ ତିନି ତା ତେତେ ତାକ ତାତି ନାକ ତିନା ତା କର୍ତ୍ତକତା ସମସ୍ତେ ବଜାଉଛନ୍ତି କମ୍ପୋଜରେ ସେକେଣ୍ଡ ଦିନ ତିନ ନାକ ତିନ ତା ତିନ ନାକ ତିନ ତା ତିନ ନାକ ତିନ ତା ସମସ୍ତେ ବ୍ୟବହାର କରୁଛନ୍ତି ଯେଉଁ ଧାକେ ଧାକେ ଧାତିନ୍ଦା କର୍ତ୍ତକ ଧାକେ ଧାତିନ୍ଦା ତାත් ସେଇ ତ୍ରେଗଡ଼ ସେଇ ତାත් ସେଇ ତ୍ରେଗଡ଼ ସେଇ এইটা ଓଡ଼ିଶୀ ଶୈଳୀକୁ ମାନେ ଅନ୍ୟ ନାଚଠୁ ଡିଫରେନ୍ସ କ୍ରିଏଟ୍ କରୁଛି ଏଇଟା ବୁଝିବା ଦରକାର ଦେଇ ତାତି ଥିଲା ତାକ ତାତି ଥିଲା ସାର୍ କଲେ 4 ନମ୍ବର ହେଇଛି ଆଉ 5 ନମ୍ବର ଗୋଟେ କରିକି ଦେଖୁ ତା ପାଇଖାନା ସଫା କରିବି ମୁଁ ଦେଇ ତାତି ଥିଲା ତାକ ତାତି ଥିଲା ଦେଇକି ତାତି ତାକ ଦିନ ତାକ ଯେଉଁ ଅଛି ତାକୁ 5 ନମ୍ବର କିଏ କରିକି ଦେଖୁ ତାର ମୁଁ ଆଜି ପାଇଖାନା ସଫା କରିବି ମୁଁ କାନ୍ଦିକି ପଳାଉଥିଲି ସାର୍ ରାଗିକିରି କିନ୍ତୁ ମୁଁ ଏବେ କାନ୍ଦବାଡ଼ିର କଥା କହିଲେ ସାର୍ ଯେତିକି କରୁଥିଲି ଶେଷରେ ମୋର ଭୁଲିପାରିବି ଶୁଦ୍ଧ ମୂଳ ଫେରେଇ ଗୋଟେ ଦିନ ଡାକିକିରି 10,000 ଟଙ୍କା ଦେଲେ ଗିଜି ବଜିକି କେହି କରିପାରିବେ ଯେତିକି ଗାଳି ଦେଇଛନ୍ତି ମୋତେ ସାବାଡ଼ କରିଦେଇଛନ୍ତି କେମିତି ବାହାରିବ ତାଙ୍କ କଥା ରିସର୍ଚ୍ଚ କରି ଆମେ ଆଜି ଷୋହଳଟାକୁ ଚେଷ୍ଟା କରାହେଉଛି ବନିବା ପାଇଁ ଆପଣ ଚାକିରି ଛାଡ଼ି ଆପଣ ବୟସ ରାଗି ତାପରେ ସେ କଥା ହେଲା ମୁଁ ପଚାରିଲି ତାକୁ ଶେଷରେ ଆପଣ କମ୍ପୋଜର କେମିତି କରନ୍ତି ନା କହିଲେ କ୍ଷେତ୍ରମୋହନ ସାର୍ଙ୍କ କଥା କ୍ଷେତ୍ରମୋହନ ସାର୍ ବଜାନ୍ତି ସାର୍ ଶୁଣନ୍ତି ଆପଣ ଦେଖିବେ ସମସ୍ତେ ପଖରେ ତାକୁ ପିଟୁଛନ୍ତି ଜଣେ ସାର୍ କେଳୁ ସାର୍ ପଖରେ ପିଟନ୍ତି ପଖରେ ସାଉଣ୍ଡ ବାହାର କରନ୍ତି ଏଇଟା ଭାବିବାକୁ ପଡ଼ିବ ଖାଲି ଜୋରରେ ଆବାଜ କଲେ ବାଜା ହୁଏନି କାଲି ଯେତେ ଗୋଟେ ରେକର୍ଡିଂ ବାଜିଲା ତାକ ତାତି ଯେଉଁ ବାଜୁଛି ଏପରି କ୍ଲିଅର ଅନ୍ୟମାନଙ୍କର ଆଦୌ ନାହିଁ ଏବେ ବି ଆମେ ଚେଷ୍ଟା କଲେ ଆମେ କରିପାରୁନୁ ଟାଇମ୍ ନାହିଁ ଧନ୍ୟବାଦ ବନ୍ଧୁକୁ ସେଠି ଡାକି ସେଟା କରିଛନ୍ତି
ସେଇ ପିଲାକୁ ଅଧିକ ପ୍ରଶ୍ନ ପଚରାଯାଏ ଯେଉଁ ପିଲା ଭଲ ପାଠ ପଢ଼େ। ଯିଏ ପାଠ ପଢ଼େ ନାହିଁ ତାକୁ ଗୁରୁଜୀ ପ୍ରଶ୍ନ କରିବାର କିଛି ଆବଶ୍ୟକତା ନଥାଏ। ତେଣୁ ଗୁରୁଜୀ ସେଇଠି ଅଧିକା ଛାଟ ଲଗାନ୍ତି ଯେଉଁଠାରୁ ଆହୁରି ଅନେକ କିଛି ପାଇବାର ସମ୍ଭାବନା ସେ ତା ଭିତରେ ଦେଖନ୍ତି। ତେଣୁ ସେଇଥିପାଇଁ ଏ ଛାଟ ଏବଂ ଗୁରୁଜୀଙ୍କ ସହିତ ବିତେଇଥିବା ସେ ଅଭୁଲା ମୁହୂର୍ତ୍ତକୁ ଅତି ଭାବାବେଗର ସହିତ କଣ୍ଠ ବାଷ୍ପାରୁତ ହେଉଥିଲା, ଗଣ୍ଡଦେଶ ଆର୍ଦ୍ର ହେଉଥିଲା ଏବଂ ସେ ଗୁରୁଜୀଙ୍କୁ ସ୍ମୃତିଚାରଣ କରୁଥିଲେ ତାଙ୍କଠାରୁ ପ୍ରତ୍ୟକ୍ଷ ପରୋକ୍ଷରେ ପ୍ରାପ୍ତ କରିଥିବା ସମସ୍ତ କଥାକୁ ଆପଣଙ୍କ ଆଗରେ ବଖାଣୁଥିଲେ। ସମୟ ନିର୍ଦ୍ଦିଷ୍ଟ ମୁଁ ଜାଣିଛି, ମୁଁ ଆରମ୍ଭରୁ କହିଛି ଏ ସମୟ ପର୍ଯ୍ୟାପ୍ତ ନୁହେଁ ନିଜର ଭାବାବେଗକୁ ପରିପ୍ରକାଶ କରିବା ପାଇଁ, ଗୁରୁଜୀଙ୍କର ସ୍ମୃତିର ସିନ୍ଧୁକରୁ ସାଉଁଟିବା ପାଇଁ। ତେବେ ଆମମାନଙ୍କ ଗହଣରେ ଉପସ୍ଥିତ ଅଛନ୍ତି ଗୁରୁଜୀଙ୍କର ଅନ୍ୟତମ ସଫଳ କୃତି ଦକ୍ଷା ମସୁୱାଲା ମହୋଦୟା। ଆମେ ନିବେଦନ ରଖିବୁ ଶ୍ରୀମତୀ ଦକ୍ଷା ମସୁୱାଲା ମହୋଦୟଙ୍କ ଆମ ସହିତ ମଞ୍ଚରେ ସାମିଲ ହେବେ ଏବଂ ଗୁରୁଜୀଙ୍କ ସହିତ ବିତେଇଥିବା ସେ ଅଭୁଲା ମୁହୂର୍ତ୍ତକୁ ଆମ ଆଗରେ ପୁଣି ଥରେ ବଖାଣିବେ। ଅନୁରୋଧ କରିବି ଦକ୍ଷା ମସୁୱାଲା ମହୋଦୟଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ ପୁଣି ଏକ ଭବ୍ୟ କରତାଳି ଆପଣମାନଙ୍କ ନିକଟରେ। ଗୁରୁଜୀ ଯେ କେବଳ ନୃତ୍ୟ ପାଇଁ ନିଜକୁ ସମର୍ପିଥିଲେ ତାହା ନୁହେଁ, ବରଂ ଓଡ଼ିଶୀ ସଙ୍ଗୀତକୁ ସମୃଦ୍ଧ କରିବାରେ ଗୁରୁଜୀଙ୍କର ଅବଦାନ ଅବିସ୍ମରଣୀୟ, ଏକଥା ଅନସ୍ୱୀକାର୍ଯ୍ୟ। ତେବେ ଆମ ସହିତ ସାମିଲ ହେଉଛନ୍ତି ଶ୍ରୀମତୀ ଦକ୍ଷା ମସୁୱାଲା। ମୋର ଆଜି ବି ମନେ ଅଛି ଯେ ରବୀନ୍ଦ୍ର ମଣ୍ଡପରେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଶାଗି ବାଗି ପ୍ରସ୍ତୁତ କରାଯାଉଥିଲା ସେତେବେଳେ ଦକ୍ଷା ମସୁୱାଲା ତାର ପୂର୍ବାଭାସରେ କହୁଥିଲେ ଯେ ଯେକୌଣସି ଚରିତ୍ରକୁ ନେଇ ନୃତ୍ୟ କରାଯାଇପାରେ, ଏ ପ୍ରେରଣା ଓ ସାମର୍ଥ୍ୟ ମୁଁ ଗୁରୁଜୀଙ୍କ ଠାରୁ ଶିଖିଛି ବୋଲି। ତେଣୁ ଗୁରୁଜୀ ଏତେ ନିକଟରୁ ସବୁ ଜିନିଷକୁ ଅନୁଭବ କରୁଥିଲେ ଆଉ ତାକୁ ନୃତ୍ୟରେ ରୂପାନ୍ତରିତ କରୁଥିଲେ। ଧନ୍ୟବାଦ ଶ୍ରୀମତୀ ଦକ୍ଷା ମସୁୱାଲା।
Firstly, my pranams to the Guru who led me on this path of spirituality through dance. And of course, very deep gratitude to all the organizers of this Kumbh of Kelucharan Kirti Shatakam. It's like going to the Kumbh Mela that was recently held, meeting this large fraternity from all over. We have all gathered here to celebrate the birth centenary of Guruji and share the lessons that he left behind that are extremely valuable. Before I talk about Guruji, we all know that Guruji was 100 years ahead of his time. He was a reformist, revolutionary. He was something else besides just being our dance guru. In the vast ocean of experiences that I had while learning Odissi with Guruji, since 1988, when I joined his first workshop at NCPA, I will just now touch only a few instances that came to my mind. Wondering on what all should I share with the fraternity of seniors, contemporaries, and the young dancers, some of whom we have already heard. And I hope I do not sound like a record playing the same tune again, the same music again, because we are all sharing our very common experiences. Unfortunately, there were things that I missed being said in Oriya, and today, after so many years of being in association with Odissi, with Orissa, with Guruji, with everything, I thought I have to somehow learn Oriya. There were many things, many important things that were touching my heart, yet I wanted to understand, and I just kept thinking that it's not too late.
I might still learn the language. So I will try and make it a brief recollection. And as it has been emphasized on Guruji being a perfectionist, I would like to add, he was a taskmaster and at the same time extremely affectionate. Of course, filled with humility and a combination of rusticity and sophistication. His lifestyle, his whole appearance, everything was so rustic and so natural, and all that reflected in the dance, which was so highly sophisticated that that is why he reached out masses, he reached out all audiences, whether he danced in small villages or he danced in the best of foreign auditoriums and audiences, be it Europe, America, Russia, wherever, he won over the hearts. And because it was this combination, I think he could reach out so far and wide. The spirituality which I said has become my guideline, my guiding path from what Guruji showed through dance, because I'm not a very strong religious person. I do believe, but I don't have a very intense way of following that path. Dance became a spiritual path to me. And I wonder how. Why is I have done Bharatanatyam for several years. That's a long story, how I came. Destiny, I think, brought me into this world of, I won't say world of Odissi, world of Guru Kelucharan Mahapatra, where a lot of things changed inside. Of course, I am in love with all the dance forms, but something, it was, I think, Guruji who made that dance form a different kind of longing, different kind of spiritual experience to me. And for this, I think, I began, of course, with the Batu and Mangalacharan. In the first workshop, I was also taught Batu, not Mangalacharan, Batu and Mohana Pallavi. And it was very hard. My knees were breaking because I had a gap after Bharatanatyam. I couldn't climb the railway steps. I went to a orthopedic and I said, do anything but don't tell me to stop dancing. And all orthopedics, they first tell you otherwise give up dancing. But I did not want to stop. But with that pain, I continued and, of course, couldn't look back. I put Bharatanatyam on the side and I pursued just Odissi because I wanted to catch up. It was a bit late in life that I had started Odissi. And when we started learning the Pallavis, I was totally mesmerized. I thought these Pallavi compositions, and until today, I have to admit that there is no new Pallavi that has touched Guruji's choreographies. Whether it's Kamach Pallavi, Hansadwani Pallavi, all these Pallavis, I did not dare to try for many years, but I watched, beautifully done, many different aspects, many things that I can appreciate, but the repertoire of Guruji's Pallavis are just so unique. And of course, we have to give a lot of credit to the entire team. Guruji with Raghu Bhaina, with Mishraji, and of course, the very able dancers that were in front of him, Kumkum Didi, Sanju Nani, and all the seniors and Kumkum Lal. I can identify, and each Pallavi has such a unique character. It is like a sculptor who has a different quality clay and mud and whatever, and a new form is created. It's so different with the quality of the dancer that comes in front of him, that his creations also become so different, is what I understand. There's nothing, proven about it, but this is how I look at his compositions. And another thing is the understanding of the Ashtapadis from the Git Govind became clear in my mind. I tried reading translations, and I tried reading many translations, not just English. I did try Gujarati, Hindi, lot of things to understand the complexities. I mean, the sacred and the profane dimensions of love, yes, but nothing would hit as clearly as Guruji's choreographies. So I stopped bothering about trying to understand the literal translations and the philosophies and all. Just dancing this Ashtapadis gave me the understanding of what the books talked about. So these are the two things where I feel everybody has emphasized. We cannot tamper with these choreographies, and I genuinely think that this is what one has to keep in mind. To be talking about one's special relationship with our Guruji is like asking the gopis of Vrindavan to describe their relationship with Krishna, where each gopi felt that she was the special one in Krishna's heart. This was experienced very often when we are in a group and everybody is, as Ileana mentioned, even that scolding and that everything, we felt elated because it was like we are getting attention. Guruji is watching me. Guruji is concerned about, my dance. So we felt very important. When I visited Guruji's house with Shubhada, the first few years, just two of us, and it was like a competition. If Guruji asked, ye mera kurta ka button laga do, मैं करूँगी, like who will do? You will do or I will do? Like we both wanted to do the smallest job that Guruji gave. So that was a feeling with Guruji, with every dancer that came under him, I think. And when he came to Mumbai for workshops, all the young married gopis rushed out of their homes. I had earlier written in my note that they rushed out of their homes, leaving the domestic chores behind. Today morning, I thought, no, we all did our domestic chores, we did our duties, and then rushed to Guruji, spending morning 10 to 8 in the night in local trains, in continuously practicing what he had taught us. And everybody in the train would ask us, what are you all doing? And Guruji, ye kaun guru hai? People were also just taken up by this madness that comes when you're under Guruji's training. So this was like spending a month each time with Guruji in Mumbai or in Bhubaneswar. I came after the Kathak phase was done. Guruji had moved to Bhubaneswar. I started at the Unit 8 house. All the difficulties, everything seemed like a romantic phase of life. Sometimes you just enjoy those very hardcore difficulties in life because of the ecstasy that came with learning of Guruji's Odissi vision. Also learning about how to balance life with our spouses, with our marriages, with our in-laws. Guruji always encouraged that in many, many ways, but the example with the respect that he gave to Guru Ma and the way he kept her on the pedestal was something which we always thought that whoever it is, whether the wife keeps the same for the husband or the husband keeps for the wife, this is what makes others to keep that much respect. None of us could have any less emotion, any less respect for Guru Ma. It's not because of what she did for us. She did like a mother, also because Guruji had kept her on that pedestal. So many things to share. I know we are running short of time, and I'd like to end with this beautiful, beautiful occasion that has been organized with the efforts of so many, we have taken care of all the little things by the volunteers. Thank you all very, very much. And we all hope to meet again. Although we feel this kind of thing will not happen, it may happen. We should just hope to keep this alive. Thank you very much.
ଆମେ ଅନେକ ଅନେକ କୃତଜ୍ଞତା ଅର୍ପଣ କରୁଛୁ ଶ୍ରୀମତୀ ଦକ୍ଷା ମସୁଆଲ ମହୋଦୟଙ୍କ ନିକଟରେ। ଏବେ ନିବେଦନ ରଖିବୁ ଯାହାଙ୍କୁ ଆମେ ଅପେକ୍ଷା କରିଥିଲୁ ଗୁରୁ ଡକ୍ଟର ଅରୁଣ ମହାନ୍ତି ମହୋଦୟଙ୍କୁ ଆମେ ନମ୍ର ନିବେଦନ ରଖିବୁ ଆମ ସହିତ ମଞ୍ଚରେ ସାମିଲ ହେବେ ଏବଂ ଗୁରୁଜୀଙ୍କର ସ୍ମୃତି ଚାରଣ କରିବେ। पुष्पगुच्छ देई आमे सम्बर्धित करुछु गुरुजींकर पावन मंचरे केलुचरण कीर्ति शतकर ए पावन मंचरे गुरु डॉक्टर अरुण महांती महोदय को मु कही रखे ए आयोजन पछरे तांकर सहभागिता सहयोग मध्य आम पई भूलिबार नहे।
सामने प्रियंवदा अपा, कुमकुम अपा, कुमकुम लाल दीदी, माधवी दीदी, Saran दी, Sneha अपा, and all the dancers and young dancers, कलाकार समस्त को मु प्रणाम करुछि। मोर जहाँ हाइट ए पोडियम रे कहले लुचि जीवी बेली गोटे छोट पहाचर व्यवहार करछि। I have been told to speak in English, but I always feel that I can speak in Odia better than I speak in English. Can I mix it? सारंको संगरे अनुभूति बहुत जन सारंको संगरे आपण माने डायरेक्टली काम करछंती। You have worked with him day and night, have had the opportunity to work with him for years together. Apun mane jodi you are Pandavas and Kauravas, I would consider myself Ekalavya, to whom Guruji has never asked the angutha. 3 small points I would like to make. The first point is that my father was a theatre person, he was a writer and he was the play director. And when he was the president of Annapurna, Kelu sir was also there in Annapurna. So they had a very beautiful relationship. That is why Shibu used to come to my house when he was young. You know that we do Rabbar Dina Khudurukuni Osa. That's every Sunday in a particular month we do it. Shibu used to come on a cycle with some of his friends from Cuttack to Bhubaneswar to our house. And then Kelu sir will look for him and I'll say, Ki, kuade golla se toka. So that kind of a relation we had. But then the relationship revived when my father made the film Sri Krishna Raslila. Sri Krishna Raslila, probably the first and only feature film based on dance and music. And where Kelu sir was the dance choreographer. He kind of during that time stayed almost 2 years with us. 1.5 years definitely he stayed with us. There was a house where the cinema director and artist, all of them were staying. One thing we learned that day, Madhuridi, I was sharing with Madhuridi, Madhuridi said, do you have those sketches? Since Guruji, like Shibu said, if he accepts something, you like to go deep into it and detailedly analyze it. He said, since I do not know film as a medium, so Sona Mukherjee was the director. He said, Sonada, you have to tell me. And the cinematographer also, like the cinema photographer director, he was also there, that what is called framing. And especially how am I going to position my dancers? You won't believe each frame was rehearsed and 2 sketch people were drawing who is standing where in what position. So where will be the camera? Camera point of view से, angle से, what will be the right frame? Top frame से क्या जाएगा? If that's a Radha's Kunja, where there will be a Veena, where there will be flowers, where everything has to be drawn in a sketch. So that's how Guruji worked and learned the technicalities of filmmaking. That was a learning experience for me. It stayed with me for a long time. Starting with how to make pulla for the camera, how to do the makeup for the camera, costume for the camera, everything Guruji was trying and we are observing like sponge. During that time, flood happened when we were doing the shooting in Calcutta. And that time, there is load shedding and there's no lights and everything. Guruji used to go on a craned top just to study what are the aerial shots. Everyone will be sleeping, someone will be dozing off, and then Guruji said ki, "Are tome mane dulo dulo kahi ki sabu nadu khai jaucha, mate douno buddha taku." So that's the kind of humor he used to make to keep everyone alive and, kind of on their feet. That was one thing. And my father said, since we are doing Sri Krishna Raslila, we will have vegetarian meal. Guruji came and told me, the dancer said, ki, camera off hela pore, makeup kardela pore, ame kai aisa khaiben? Ame aisa khaibana. So we went and told my father, and father said, yes. Ratire, badhiya kari chokoli pitta mansa tarkari khao. So those are some of the anecdotes I wanted to. And the second thing, when Guruji came to my house and we were doing Rati Shukhasare composition for the film, so I kind of very innocently asked, "Sir, when you said Natu Nakuru Nitambini Gamana Vilambane, have you seen Radha?" He said, "Ki, na." I said, "How do you know that Nitamba goes from one side to other?" He said, "I was with Pratima Bedi in Bombay. I saw those Machwara women holding it on, and they were the Maharashtrian way of wearing saris with the kacha, and when they walk, it was a beautiful movement." Later he connected that with the swan, but that was, everyone is talking about his observation, how mind-witty, how he studies the way of life that we live today. Not that what was painted, what was written about, and what was lived long time back. So that's one thing. And the other thing, when during the Sri Krishna Raslila, after that, I asked, when I was doing Yahi Madhava, sir, I asked him, I said, Deba sir always says, if you are doing Yahi Madhava, or take any example, then you should focus on one rasa. If you are switching from one character to another, sometime it can cause rasa bhanga. But in your thing, there is beautiful sanchari of Krishna. Taking the word, Ma vada kaitava bada, don't plead your lies with me. That lie, what are the lies Krishna was saying? He said, in Sri Krishna Raslila, there is one song when Krishna is coming and Radha is saying, Tume ja. Madhura vachana kahanti mohana chitta karivaku jaya. Kali onayate rahili sajani dekha mora abhay. In that song, everything is there. That Koli and Nakha Aghata and the friends, they have thrown the color on him. All the lies are been written in that rasa. He said, since I come from rasa, I have taken those. That's how he taught me. In later years, I thought how to create sancharis. Then Sonalappa in a workshop said, when you are taking 3 stanzas from one Astapadi, read other stanzas. Sarmila organized that seminar in Calcutta. He said, read other stanzas. The other stanzas are sancharis for you. So Guruji taught me how to look at dance, how to analyze dance, how to fall in love with dance. And through my Guruji, I get to know that much better than I could have. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to share it. Thank you.
आमे अनेक अनेक कृतज्ञता अर्पण करुचु गुरु डॉक्टर रुणा महांती महोदय निकट में निखुणता ही एवं पूर्वापर प्रसंग ही आउ एक मुख्य प्रसंग को समृद्ध करें एक निकटर बुझी गुरुजी जे गोटे नृत्य गोटे विषय गोटे शीर्षक आहरी अनेक शीर्षक को अध्ययन करने को हुए एवं सेठु ग्रहण करा तथ्य को जितेबाला अलंकार भाव में मुख्य तथ्य जोड़ी दि जाए ताहा एक स्वयं संपूर्ण रूपांतरण रूपांतरित हुए नृत्य ये कथा जब क्या शिखबार थाए से निश्चित भाव में पद्मविभूषण गुरु केलुचरण महापात्र महोदय पूर्वापर प्रसंग को छाड़ी मुख्य प्रसंग को सुस्पष्ट करा जाई पारे ना ए कथा को अध्ययन समय प्रशिक्षण समय बारंबार गुरुजी आम कहते धन्यवाद आम निवेदन रखिबू आज आम गहन उपस्थित अच्छा गुरुजी सहित सहशिल्पी भाव में अजस्र मंचरे एकाधिक मंचरे कार्य करिथिबा शिरोमणि रमेश चंद्र दास महोदय आम निवेदन रखिबू आम सहित मंचरे सामिल हेबे एवं गुरुजी स्मृति चारण करेंगे। आम रतिकांत महापात्र महोदय को निवेदन रखिबू शिरोमणि रमेश चंद्र दास महोदय को पुष्पगुच्छ एवं स्मृति चिन्ह दे संबर्धित करने।
एठारे समस्ते हिंदी इंग्लिश तो बहुत कथा कहले आम सब शुणी बहुत आनंदित हलु कहवा भी उचित मु ओडिया कहबी कि हिंदी में कहबी कि बंगला कहबी मुझे जापर ना तेलुगु इला नाड़ कल पंडी एंड ना इला मत अपा मान कले तुम कहदेबन हसब मुझे हौ जहाँ मो जहाँ लेखिक आनी मैं खाली पढ़ीदेवी मोर किसी कहबार ना मोर एठार उपस्थित थिबा समस्त बयस बड़ थिबा अपा माने एवं भाई माने जो मैंने बयस बड़ समस्त मोर विनम्र प्रणाम एवं मोर मोठार कनिष्ठ भाई भौणी मान मोर श्रद्धा एवं स्नेह महात्मन आज ये भव्य त्रिदिवसीय कुंभमेलार निमंत्रित समस्त अतिथिवृंद गुरु श्री केलुचरण महापात्र विश्वव्यापी परिवार सदस्य सदस्यगण और आगंतुक संगीत नृत्य प्रेमी सुरसिक दर्शिका और दर्शक मानक शिरोमणि रमेश चंद्र दास विनम्र प्रणाम आउ थे उपस्थित समस्त गुरु नृत्यांगना और संगीतज्ञ मानक मध्यरु जहाँ को ये मंचर दंडायमान करदे ये हल जिते लोक भी अच्छा अंतत क्रम 2 घंटा कम भाषण सर नहीं गुरुजी बाबद एमती तो गुरुजी सर्वव्याप्त और सर्वहृदय बसा बांधी एक घर चटिया चढ़ई तत्पश्चात किसी पुस्तक और फटोचित्र माध्यम से पृथ्वीर कोणानुकोण पाठक पाठिका मानकर मानस पटरे विदित हो सर्वादृत आम ओडिशा को कहीं चिन्हु नथिले एमितिक आम भारत वर्ष पृथ्वी कथा छाड़ विश्व चिन्हला किपरि ना मात्र 3टी जिनिस पाई प्रथम जगतर जगन्नाथ महाप्रभु श्री जगन्नाथ द्वितीय प्रवाद पुरुष श्री विजु पट्टनायक तृतीय ओडिसी नृत्य जो ओडिसी नृत्यर स्रष्टा बिंधाणी गुरुजी आमर समस्तंकर पूज्य पिता एवं कौन कहीपड़े सी हूँ देवता आम मान स्रष्टा जहाँ आज आम समस्ते सबु क्षेत्र में एत एत बड़ होचे ना करें अर्थ कमाऊे से हूँ से परम पूज्य गुरुदेव जहाँकर जीवन आरंभ हुए केला केलु सर्वशेष गुरु
ପଦ୍ମବିଭୂଷଣ ଗୁରୁ କେଳୁଚରଣ ମହାପାତ୍ର। ତାଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ ପଦ୍ମବିଭୂଷଣ ତ ବହୁତ କମ୍ ହେଇଗଲା, ସେ ଭାରତ ରତ୍ନ, ଓସ୍କାର, ନୋବେଲ ଇତ୍ୟାଦି ପାଇବାର ଯୋଗ୍ୟ। ମୁଁ ଦୁଃଖ କହିବି ନା ସୁଖ କହିବି, ଯାହା ଅଞ୍ଜଳି ଭେଇଛି ଗୁରୁଜୀଙ୍କ ସାଙ୍ଗରେ ଟିକେ କହିବି। 1983 ମସିହାରୁ ମୁଁ ଗୁରୁଜୀଙ୍କ ସାଙ୍ଗରେ ଓତପ୍ରୋତ ଭାବରେ ଯୋଡ଼ି ହେଇକରି ଥିଲି। ତାଙ୍କ ସହିତ ବଜେଇବା, ତାଙ୍କ ସହିତ ଆମର ଓଡ଼ିଶୀ ରିସର୍ଚ୍ଚ ସେଣ୍ଟରରେ ଯେତେ ଡ୍ୟାନ୍ସ ଡ୍ରାମା ହୁଏ, ମୁଁ ଅନ୍ତତଃ 4ଟା ଡ୍ୟାନ୍ସ ଡ୍ରାମାରେ ମୁଁ ଦୟାନିଧି ଭାଇ ମୁଁ ବଜେଇଛୁ। ତାଙ୍କର କୋରିଓଗ୍ରାଫିରେ, ମ୍ୟୁଜିକ୍ କୋରିଓଗ୍ରାଫିରେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ପ୍ରଫୁଲ୍ଲକର ଭାଇନା ଯାଇ କହନ୍ତି କି ଅନ୍ୟାନ୍ୟ ଯିଏ ବସନ୍ତି, ମୁଁ ରୋଟେସନ୍ ଲେଖେ ଏବଂ ବେହେଲା ବଜାଏ। ଦେଶ ବିଦେଶ ଯୁଆଡ଼େ ଯାଇଛନ୍ତି ମୋତେ ସାଙ୍ଗରେ ନେଇଛନ୍ତି। ତେଣୁ ମୋ ପାଇଁ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ମୁଁ କହିବି ଗୁରୁ କେଳୁଚରଣ ମହାପାତ୍ର କ'ଣ କରିଛନ୍ତି, କି ଆଶୀଷ ମୁଁ ତାଙ୍କଠାରୁ ପାଇଛି, ସେଇଟାକୁ ମୁଁ କହିବି। ମୁଁ କେନ୍ଦ୍ରାପଡ଼ା ଜିଲ୍ଲାର ଏକ କୃଷକ ପରିବାରର ଜନ୍ମ। ସଙ୍ଗୀତ ଶିଖିବା ପାଇଁ ପିଲାଦିନରୁ ଗୀତ ଶିଖୁଥିଲି। 1975-76 ମସିହାରେ ମାଟ୍ରିକ୍ ପାସ୍ କଲା ପରେ ସଙ୍ଗୀତ ଶିଖିଲି। ଭାବିନଥିଲି ଯେ ମୁଁ ସଙ୍ଗୀତ ଶିଖିକିରି ଗୋଟେ ଏତେ ବଡ଼ ନାମକରା କଳାକାର ହେଇପାରିବି ବା ଏତେ ବଡ଼ ବଡ଼ ଲୋକର ସାନ୍ନିଧ୍ୟ ଲାଭ କରିପାରିବି। ଭାବିଥିଲୁ ଯେମିତି ଗାଁରେ ଆମର ପେଟ୍ରୋମାକ୍ସ ଲାଇଟ୍ ଜଳେ, ହେଁସ ପଡ଼େ, ସତ୍ୟନାରାୟଣ ପାଲା ହୁଏ, ସେଇଆ ହିଁ 2-4 ବର୍ଷ 6 ବର୍ଷ ଶିଖିକିରି ପଳେଇ କରିବି। କିନ୍ତୁ 82 ମସିହାରେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ମୋର ସରିଗଲା 6 ବର୍ଷ, ମୋ ଗୁରୁ ଉସ୍ତାଦ ମହମ୍ମଦ ହମିଦ ଆହାଦ କହିଲେ, ତୁ କିଛି ଜାଣିଲୁ, କିଛି ଶିଖିନୁ, ଯଦି ଆଉ କିଛି ଜ୍ଞାନ ଆହରଣ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ଚାହୁଁ ଆଉ 6 ବର୍ଷ ଆଡ଼ମିସନ୍ କର। ସତରେ ମୁଁ ଆଉ 6 ବର୍ଷ ଆଡ଼ମିସନ୍ କରା କିଛି ଶିଖିଲି। ସେତେବେଳେ ଜାଣିଥିଲି ରାଗ ବିଭାଗ, ରାଗ ମାରୁ ବିଭାଗ, ରାଗ କଲ୍ୟାଣ, ରାଗ ଭୋପାଳ, ଖାଲି ଜାଣିଗଲୁ, ଆରୋହ ଅବରୋହ ଏଗୁଡ଼ା ସବୁ ଜାଣିଗଲୁ। ଶିଖିଛୁ କ'ଣ? ପ୍ରକୃତରେ ଶିଖିବୁ ଆଉ 6 ବର୍ଷ କଲେ ତାର ରୂପ କ'ଣ, ସେ କ'ଣ ତାକୁ ଶିଖିଲି। ଭାବିନଥିଲି ମୁଁ ରହିବି ବୋଲି। ତାପରେ ଆସ୍ତେ ଆସ୍ତେ ଏଇ ଗୁରୁଙ୍କର ପ୍ରସାଦ, ଯେତେ ପିଲା ସବୁ ଶିଖିଛନ୍ତି, ଯେତେ ଆମ ହଷ୍ଟେଲରେ ଥିଲେ ଯେଉଁମାନେ, ସେମାନେ ଟିକେ ଟିକେ ଡ୍ୟାନ୍ସ ତାଙ୍କ ପିଲାମାନେ କରୁଥିଲେ, ତାଙ୍କ ସାଙ୍ଗରେ ବଜେଇଲି। ହିନ୍ଦୁସ୍ତାନୀ କ୍ଲାସିକାଲ ମୁଁ ଶିଖିଛି। ମୋର 3 ଜଣ ଆଜ୍ଞା ଗୁରୁ। ବେଶୀ ଉଞ୍ଚା ହେଇଯାଉଛି। ମୋର 3 ଜଣ ଆଜ୍ଞା ଗୁରୁ। ଜଣେ ହେଲେ ମୋର ଜ୍ଞାନଦାତା ଉସ୍ତାଦ ମହମ୍ମଦ ହମିଦ ଆହାଦ। ଦ୍ୱିତୀୟ ଜଣେ ହେଲେ ମୋର ଗାନାଦାତା ସଙ୍ଗୀତ ସୁଧାକର ବାଳକୃଷ୍ଣ ଦାସ, ଯାହାଙ୍କର ମୁଁ ହେଉଛି ମୋର ଯିଏ ହେଉଛି ମାନସ ଗୁରୁ, ଯାହାଙ୍କର ଗୀତକୁ ମୁଁ ବଢ଼ିଆ ଗାଇପାରେ ଏବଂ ବହୁତ ଗୀତ ସିଡ଼ି କରିକି ମୁଁ ଆମେରିକାରେ ବିକିକରି ଯାହା 2 ପଇସା ରୋଜଗାର କରିଛି। ଗୋଟେ ସଙ୍ଗୀତ ସ୍କୁଲ ମୋ ଗାଁରେ କରିଛି। ମୋର ସେ ହେଉଛନ୍ତି ଗାନା ଗୁରୁ। ତୃତୀୟ ହେଉଛନ୍ତି ମୋର ଦାନା ଗୁରୁ ଶ୍ରୀଯୁକ୍ତ କେଳୁଚରଣ ମହାପାତ୍ର, ମୋ ଦାନା ଗୁରୁ। ସିଏ ବଞ୍ଚିଥିଲା ବେଳେ ଆମକୁ ତ ଯାହା ପଇସା ଆମେ କମେଇଲୁ, ତାଙ୍କର ଯେତେ ସବୁ ଆପଣମାନେ ଅଛନ୍ତି ଛାତ୍ରଛାତ୍ରୀ, ଗୁରୁଜୀଙ୍କ ସାଙ୍ଗରେ ରମେଶ ସାର୍ ବଜାଉଥିବାରୁ ତାଙ୍କୁ ଡାକିଲେ ଆମର ରିହର୍ସାଲ ଦରକାର ନାହିଁ, ଗୋଟିଏ ରିହର୍ସାଲରେ ସେ ବଜେଇ ଦେବେ। କନଫିଡେଣ୍ଟର ସହିତ ମୋତେ ଡାକନ୍ତି ଏବଂ ସାର୍ ଯଦି ଗୋଟିଏ ଦେଶକୁ ଯାଇଥିବେ, ମୁଁ ତାଙ୍କ ଛାତ୍ରଛାତ୍ରୀଙ୍କ ସହିତ 5ଟା ଦେଶ ବୁଲି ଆସିଥିବି। କାହିଁକି ନା ସେ ଗୋଟିଏ ଗଲା, ମୁଁ ଜଣଙ୍କ ସାଙ୍ଗରେ ଗଲି ଗୋଟିଏ ଦେଶ, ଏହି ତାପରେ ତା ସାଙ୍ଗରେ 5ଟା ଦେଶ ଏକାଥରେ ବୁଲିକି ଆଇଲି। 40ଟା କଣ୍ଟ୍ରି ମଧ୍ୟ ତାଙ୍କରି ଆଶୀର୍ବାଦରେ ମୁଁ ଜାଣିକି ବୁଲିଛି। ନହେଲେ ମୁଁ କିଏ ସିଏ କିଏ, ମାନେ ଦେଶ କିଏ କ'ଣ କିଏ, ଆମେ ଟିକେ 10 ଟଙ୍କା ପାଉନୁ ଟିକେ ପୁରୀ ଯାଇକି ଠାକୁର ଦର୍ଶନ କରିବା ପାଇଁ, କିନ୍ତୁ ସାରା ପୃଥିବୀ ଟଙ୍କାଟା ଖର୍ଚ୍ଚ ନାହିଁ। ସେ ମାନେ ବମ୍ବେରୁ ଆମେ ଉଡ଼ାଜାହାଜରେ ଗଲାବେଳକୁ 200-250 ଟଙ୍କା ଆମ ପକେଟରେ ଥିବ। ତାପରେ ଫେରିଲା ବେଳକୁ ଆମେ ଗଣ୍ଠିଲି ପକେଇ ବ୍ରାହ୍ମଣଙ୍କ ଭଳିଆ ସବୁ ଧରି ରେମୁନେରେସନ୍ ଏତେ ପ୍ରେଜେଣ୍ଟେସନ୍ ଧରିକି ଫେରୁ। ମୂଳରେ କିଏ? ଗୁରୁଜୀ। ଦ୍ୱିତୀୟ କଥା ହେଉଛି ପ୍ରେସିଡେଣ୍ଟଙ୍କ ନିବାସ, ପ୍ରେସିଡେଣ୍ଟ ହାଉସ୍, ରାଷ୍ଟ୍ରପତି ଭବନ କିଏ, ମୁଁ କିଏ? ମୋ ଜୀବନରେ ଯାଇପାରିଥାନ୍ତି କି ନାହିଁ ସନ୍ଦେହ। ଅପା କହୁଥିଲେ କୁମକୁମ ଲାଲ ଅପା। ସେଠି ଥିଲା ମୋର ଗୋଟେ ପ୍ରୋଗ୍ରାମ୍ ଥିଲା, ପ୍ରୋଗ୍ରାମ୍ ସାରିକି ମୁଁ ତାଙ୍କରି ଘରେ ପହଞ୍ଚିଲି। ଗୁରୁଜୀ ସେଠି ଥିଲେ, ଶିବବାବୁ ଥିଲେ, ପଦ୍ମବିଭୂଷଣ ଆୱାର୍ଡ଼ ପାଇଲେ। ମୁଁ ତାଙ୍କ ଘରେ ଥିଲି। ଆରେ ଟୋକା ଯିବୁ କିରେ? ମୁଁ ଆୱାର୍ଡ଼ ପାଇବି। ମୋ ସାର୍ ମୋର ସୌଭାଗ୍ୟ, ଯୋଡ଼ାଏ ଗାଡ଼ି ଆସିଥିଲା, ଗୋଟାକରେ କୁମକୁମ ଅପା ସାର୍ ଗଲେ, ଗୋଟାକରେ ଶିବବାବୁ ମୁଁ ଗଲୁ। ସେଗୁଡ଼ା ସେ ଜିନିଷ ମୋ ଜୀବନରେ ପାଇନଥାନ୍ତି। ତାଙ୍କ ଯେମିତି କୁସୁମ ପରଶେ ପଟ୍ଟ ନିସ୍ତରେ, କୁସୁମକୁ ମାଳିମାନେ ପଟ କଦଳୀ ପଟୁଆରେ ଗୁନ୍ଥିକିରି ଦେଲେ ସେ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କର ଗଳାରେ ପଡ଼େ। କୁସୁମ ପଡ଼େ କିନ୍ତୁ ତା ସାଙ୍ଗରେ ପଟୁଆ ମଧ୍ୟ ପଡ଼େ। କୁସୁମ ପଡ଼େ ଗୁନ୍ଥା ହେଇଥାଏ ପଟୁଆରେ ନା, କିଏ କହେ ଖାଲି ପଟୁଆଟା ଠାକୁରଙ୍କୁ ଦେବା। କୁସୁମ ପରସେ ପଟ ନିଷ୍ଠାରେ, ତାଙ୍କ ପରସରେ ମୁଁ ନିଷ୍ଠାର ମଧ୍ୟ ପାଇଛି। ଏସବୁ ଜିନିଷ ମଧ୍ୟ ମୁଁ ପାଇଛି। ଏବଂ ଥରେ ସାର୍ ବସିଥିଲେ ପଦ୍ମ ବିଭୂଷଣ ପାଇକିରି ତାଙ୍କ ଦୁଆର ମୁହଁରେ ନଡ଼ିଆ କତା ବଳୁଥିଲେ। ମୁଁ ଗୋଟେ ଫୁଲ ତୋଳା ନେଇକି ତାଙ୍କ ପାଖରେ ଯାଇ ପଦେଲି, ଟୋକା କୁଆଡ଼େ ଆସିକିରେ? ମୁଁ ସାର୍ ଆପଣ ମହାନ ବ୍ୟକ୍ତିତ୍ୱ, ଆମ ଦେଶର ଗୌରବ। ଇଆଡ଼େ ଇଆଡ଼େ ମୋତେ କ'ଣ ମହାନ ବ୍ୟକ୍ତିତ୍ୱ ମହାନ କଥା କହୁଛି କିରେ? ମୋ ସାଙ୍ଗରେ ଆଉ ଜଣେ ଅଛନ୍ତି, ମୋର ପଦ୍ମଭୂଷଣ ତାଙ୍କର ଅଧା ଅଛି। ମୁଁ କିଏ ସେ? ଭୁବନେଶ୍ୱର ବାବୁ। ଯଦି ଭୁବନେଶ୍ୱର ବାବୁ ନାହାନ୍ତି, କେଳୁଚରଣ ମହାପାତ୍ର ନାହାନ୍ତି। ଆପଣ କ୍ଷୀର ନୀର କୁହନ୍ତୁ, ଗଙ୍ଗା ଯମୁନା କୁହନ୍ତୁ, ଅର୍ଜୁନ ଶ୍ରୀକୃଷ୍ଣ କୁହନ୍ତୁ ବା ହରିହର କୁହନ୍ତୁ, ଭୁବନେଶ୍ୱର ମିଶ୍ର ଆଉ କେଳୁଚରଣ ମହାପାତ୍ର। ସଙ୍ଗୀତ ବାବଦରେ ସେ ଗୋଟେ ବିନ୍ଧାଣୀ ପରା। ସଙ୍ଗୀତ ଥରେ ମୋତେ ଡାକିଲେ ଗୋଟେ ମ୍ୟୁଜିକ୍ କମ୍ପୋଜ କରିବା ପାଇଁ। ଛୋଟ ଛୁଆ ନାଚିବେ ଅନନ୍ତ ଲୀଳା। ଶିବବାବୁ ମୋତେ କେତେଥର ଯାଇ କହିଲେ, ଭାଇ ଚାଲୁନାହାନ୍ତି, ବାପା କହୁଛନ୍ତି ଟିକେ ଗୋଟେ ମ୍ୟୁଜିକ୍ କମ୍ପୋଜ ହେବ ଟିକେ। ମୁଁ ହେଁ ବୋପା ବୋପା ବୋପା, ସାରେ ମ୍ୟୁଜିକ୍ ସାଙ୍ଗରେ ମୁଁ ବସିବି ମ୍ୟୁଜିକ୍ କମ୍ପୋଜ କରିବି? ଜମା 3 ଥର ଆଜ୍ଞା ଲୁଚିଛି, ଜମା ଗଲି ନାହିଁ। ଶିବବାବୁ ମୋତେ କହିଲେ, ରମେଶ ଭାଇ ଏମାନଙ୍କ ସାଙ୍ଗରେ ବସିକି ତୁମେ କାମ କରିବନି, ଶିଖିବ କ'ଣ, ଜାଣିବ କେମିତି? ବାପା କ'ଣ ଖାଇଯିବ ତୁମକୁ? ଚାଲ ବସ ଦେଖ କହିବ। ଡରି କରି ଗଲି, ଯାଇକି ପହଞ୍ଚିଲି। ସାର୍ କହିଲେ, କିରେ ଟୋକା ଆଇଲୁ? ମୁଁ ହଁ। ମୋତେ ରମେଶ ବୋଲି ଡାକି ପାଇଲେନି, ରାମହରି। ହଉ କ'ଣ ଛୁଆଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ ଗୋଟେ ହେବ ଅନନ୍ତ ଲୀଳା, ସେ ବଲ୍ ଖେଳ ହେବ, ଅଙ୍କେ ହେବ, ସମସ୍ତେ ଛୋଟ ଛୁଆଙ୍କର ଯେଉଁ କାମ ସବୁ। କହିଲେ କେବଳ ବେହେଲାରେ ହିଁ ହେବ। ଭୁବନେଶ୍ୱର ସାର୍ଙ୍କୁ ସେ ଏତେ ଭଲ ପାଉଥିଲେ, ସବୁବେଳେ ମୋତେ ଖାଲି ଭୁବନେଶ୍ୱର ସାର୍ଙ୍କ ଦାୟିତ୍ୱ। ଆରେ ଭୁବନେଶ୍ୱର ବାବୁ ଏହା ବଜାଉଥିଲି ତ ସେମିତି ବଜାଉନୁ, ଭୁବନେଶ୍ୱର ବାବୁ ଏହା କଲେ ସେ କରୁନୁ। ଗଲା ଗୋଟେ ବଢ଼ିଆ କଥା। ସେଠୁ କଲେ ଗୋଟେ ଗୀତ ଥିଲା, ଆସ ଭାଇ ଲୁଚକାଳି ଖେଳିବା, ବନେ ବନେ ବୁଲି ବୁଲି କୋଳି ତୋଳିବା। କହିଲେ ମ୍ୟୁଜିକ୍ର ସ୍ୱର କର, ମୁଁ ଆସୁଛି। ମୁଁ ସେ କହିଲି, ଆସ ଭାଇ ଲୁଚକାଳି ଖେଳିବା, ଆସ ଭାଇ ଲୁଚକାଳି ଖେଳିବା, ତେରେ ରେ ତେତେ, ଆସ ଭାଇ ଲୁଚକାଳି ଖେଳିବା। ସାର୍ ଆସିଲେ ମୁଁ ଶୁଣେଇଲି। କହିଲେ ଏଇ ଆସ ଭାଇ ଲୁଚ କାଳି ଖେଳିବା, ଏଇଆ କରିଦେଇଛି। ହଁ ଗୋଟାଏ ଆଡ଼େ ଲୁଚ ଗୋଟା କାଳି ଗୋଟାଏ, ଏତିକି ତ ମୁଣ୍ଡ ଖଟୁନି, ଆଉ ଟିକେ ଭାବେ। ମୁଁ ଯେତେ କହୁଛି ମୋର ସେଇଟା ପଶୁଛି, ଆସ ଭାଇ ଲୁଚ କାଳି ଖେଳିବା। ହେ ବୋକାଟା କୁଆଡ଼େ ଗଲା, ଶୁଣୁ। ସାର୍ କ'ଣ ଆପଣ କହୁନାହାନ୍ତି ନା, ଆସ ଭାଇ ଲୁଚ କାଳି ଖେଳିବା, ଆସ ଭାଇ ଲୁଚ କାଳି। ଦେଖିଲୁ ଲୁଚ କାଳିଟା ଗୋଟିଏ ୱାର୍ଡ଼। ବହୁତ ଜିନିଷ ଶିଖିଲି ମୁଁ, ଯେତେ ବି ଯୋଉଠି ଯାହା କରୁଛି ଆଗ ଶବ୍ଦକୁ ହସ ଗଲା। ଆଉ ଥରେ କ'ଣ ହେଇଛି, କ'ଣ କହିବି ଆଜ୍ଞା, ମୁଁ ତ କହିଲି ଅଡ଼ିଟୋରିୟମ୍ରେ ଯାହାକୁ ଡାକିଦେବେ ଏଠି ଠିଆ ହେବ, ସେ ନିହାତି 2 ଘଣ୍ଟାରୁ କମ୍ କଲେ ତା ମନ ଶାନ୍ତି ହେବନି। ମୁଁ ଆଉ କ'ଣ କହିବି। ହଉ ଗୋଟିଏ କଥା ହେଉଛି ପ୍ରାକ୍ଟିସ୍। ଗୋଟାଏ ଥର ଆମେରିକା ଯାଇଛି, କେଳୁ ସାର୍ଙ୍କର ମାନେ ରୁମ୍ରେ ମୋ ପାଳି ପଡ଼ିଗଲା, ମୁଁ ରହିଲି। ସାର୍ଙ୍କର ଟିକେ ଆପଣଙ୍କ ସେମାନେ ମୁଣ୍ଡ ଚିପାଟା ବେଶୀ ଦରକାର। ଏ ଟୋକା ଟିକେ ମୁଣ୍ଡ ଚିପି ଦେବୁ କି? ମୁଁ ହଁ ସାର୍ ମୁଁ ଚିପୁଛି। ମୁଁ ଗୋଟେ ଆଜ୍ଞା ବେହେଲା ହାତ, କେଉଁ ଶକ୍ତ ହାତ, ସଚିବଙ୍କ ଭଳିଆ କେଉଁ ଟାଣ ହାତ, ପଖସ ହାତ, ସବୁ ଚିପୁଛି 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 ଆଜ୍ଞା ଚିପୁଛି। ମୋ ହାତ ଫାତ କ'ଣ ହେଇକି ଯଥାର୍ଥ କାଣ୍ଡ, ସାର୍ ବନ୍ଦ କରିବା ପାଇଁ କହୁନାହାନ୍ତି। ମୁଁ ଟିକେ ଫେର କ'ଣ କରି ଆସିବ, ସାର୍ ଟିକେ ପରିସ୍ରା କରି ଆସୁଛି, ଯା ଆସିଦେବ। ଏତେ କ'ଣ ଡେରି କରୁଛୁ? ମୁଁ ନାହିଁ ସାର୍, ପୁଣି ଚିପ। ଏମିତି କରିକି 12ଟା ବାଜିଲା। କହିଲେ କାଲି କେତେବେଳେ ଆମର ରିହର୍ସାଲ୍ ଅଛି? ମୁଁ କହିଲି 7ଟା। ନାଇଁ କ'ଣ 8ଟା? ତୁ ଗୋଟେ କଥା କର। ହଁ ସକାଳୁ ଉଠିକି 5ଟା ବେଳକୁ ଉଠିକି ପ୍ରାକ୍ଟିସ୍ କରିବୁ। ମୁଁ ହଁ ସାର୍। ନା କେତେବେଳେ ଅଛି? 8ଟା ବେଳକୁ। ତୋର କେତେ ସମୟ ଲାଗେ ବାଥରୁମ୍ ଗାଧୁଆ ପାଧୁଆ? ମୁଁ କହିଲି ଅଧଘଣ୍ଟା। ନା ଅଧଘଣ୍ଟା ପରେ ଆସିକିରି ମୋତେ ଡାକିଦେବୁ, ମୁଁ ଉଠିକି ଯାଇ ମୋ କାମ ସାରିବି। ଠିକ୍ ଭୋର 5ଟା ହେଇଛି, ମାନେ ମୁଁ ଶୋଇଛି। ସାର୍ ମୋତେ ରାମହରି ଉଠରେ ପ୍ରାକ୍ଟିସ୍ କରିବୁ ପା। ମୁଁ ସେଠୁ ଉଠିଲି ଛାନିଆରେ ଉଠିକି ମୁଁ ପ୍ରାକ୍ଟିସ୍ ଆରମ୍ଭ କଲି ମୋର ଅଳଙ୍କାର ଚାପ୍ଟର ମୋର ଅଧଘଣ୍ଟା 45 ମିନିଟ୍ ସାରିଦେଲି ଟିକେ ରେଷ୍ଟ ନେଇଛି ସାର୍ ଶୋଇକି ଘୁଗୁଡ଼ି ମାରୁଛନ୍ତି ମୁଁ ଦେଖୁଛି ସାର୍ ଶୋଇକି ମୁଁ ଫେରେ ଖଟ ଉପରେ ଶୋଇଲି ସାର୍ ତଳେ ମୁଁ ତାହେଲେ ତଳେ ଶୋଇଲି ନା ତୁ ଉପରେ ଶୁଅ ସାର୍ ତଳେ ଶୋଇଲେ ସେଠୁ ପୁଣି ଟିକେ ମୁଁ ବନ୍ଦ କରିଦେଇକି କ'ଣ ବନ୍ଦ କରିଦେଲୁ ସେଠୁ ମୁଁ ନାହିଁ ସାର୍ ଟିକେ ବାଥରୁମ୍ ଜଲ୍ଦି ଆ ପୁଣି ଆସିକରି ପୁଣି ଅଭ୍ୟାସ କଲି ଏମିତି ଆଜ୍ଞା ଅଭ୍ୟାସ କରି କରି 7ଟା ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ପେଲି ନେଲି ମାନେ ଅଭ୍ୟାସ ମୋତେ କରେଇଲେ ମୋତେ ଚା ଟିକେ ପିଇଦେଲେନି କିଛି କରେଇଲେ ମୁଁ ଖାଲି ବଜଉଛି ସେ ଶୋଇଛନ୍ତି ଏମିତି ହେଇ ଯେମିତି 7ଟା ବାଜିଲା ମୁଁ 7ଟା ବାଜିବାକୁ ସାର୍ 15 ମିନିଟ୍ ଅଛି ନା ତୁ ଯା ଗାଧୋଇ ପଡ଼ ମୋତେ ଡାକିବୁ ଦେଖନ୍ତୁ ତାଙ୍କ ପାଖରେ ମୁଁ ଅଛି କିନ୍ତୁ ମୋତେ ପ୍ରାକ୍ଟିସ୍ କର ତୁ ପ୍ରାକ୍ଟିସ୍ କିନ୍ତୁ ତାଙ୍କର ପ୍ରାକ୍ଟିସ୍ କ'ଣ ଗୋଟେ ଜିନିଷ ସେ ଜାଣନ୍ତି ଏମିତି ଆଜ୍ଞା କହିଲେ ବହୁତ କଥା ହେବ ମୋତେ କହିଲେଣି ଯିବା ପାଇଁ ଆଉ କିଛି କହୁନି ଖାଲି ଏତିକି ଶେଷରେ ସେହି ଦିବଙ୍ଗତ ଯୋଗୀ ପୁରୁଷ ସାଧକ ବିନ୍ଧାଣୀ ବଟବୃକ୍ଷ ଆଜିର ଦିବସରେ ବସୁଧୈବ କୁଟୁମ୍ବକମ୍ ଆମେ ସମସ୍ତେ ମାନଙ୍କୁ 2 ହାତ ଟେକି ଆଶୀର୍ବାଦାତ୍ମକ ଆଶିଷ ପୁଷ୍ପ ସିଞ୍ଚନ କରନ୍ତୁ ଆଶାର୍ଥୀ ଶ୍ରୀ ରମେଶ ଚନ୍ଦ୍ର ଦାସ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ସେ ଗୁରୁଙ୍କର ଆଶିଷ ପ୍ରଦାନହିତ ପୁଷ୍ପ ବର୍ଷଣ ମାନେ ଗୁରୁଜୀ ଆମ ଉପରେ କରନ୍ତୁ କରୁଛନ୍ତି କରୁଥିବେ ମଧ୍ୟ ଜୟ କଳା ଜୟ କଳାକାର ଜୟ ଓଡ଼ିଶୀ ନୃତ୍ୟ ସଙ୍ଗୀତ ଜୟ ଜଗନ୍ନାଥ
ନା ରମେଶ କୁମାର ଦାସ ନୁହଁ ଜୟ ରାମ ହରି ଧନ୍ୟବାଦ ଜଣେ ମହାଦ୍ରୁମ ହେଇଗଲା ପରେ ଶାଖାରେ ଅନେକ ବସା ବାନ୍ଧନ୍ତି ପକ୍ଷୀ ଖଣ୍ଡି ଉଡ଼ା ଦିଅନ୍ତି ସେ ମହାଦ୍ରୁମରୁ ଉଡ଼ିବା ଶିଖିଗଲା ପରେ ଆଉ ଏକ ଅନେକ ବୃକ୍ଷର ସନ୍ଧାନ କରନ୍ତି ସେଠି ନିଜର ଆଉ ଏକ ସ୍ୱତନ୍ତ୍ର ପରିବେଶ ତିଆରି କରିବା ପାଇଁ କିନ୍ତୁ ମହାଦ୍ରୁମ ଠିକ୍ ସେମିତି ଥାଏ ହାସ୍ୟ ରୋଳରେ ହଉ ପଛେ କିନ୍ତୁ ନିଛକ ବାସ୍ତବତାର କଥା କହୁଥିଲେ ଯେ ଗୁରୁ କେଳୁଚରଣ ମହାପାତ୍ର ରୂପୀ ବଟବୃକ୍ଷରେ ସେ ଅନେକ ବସା ବାନ୍ଧିଥିଲେ ଅନେକ ଉଡ଼ିବା ଶିଖିଥିଲେ ଏବଂ ସେମାନେ ଉଡ଼ି ଉଡ଼ି ଆହୁରି ଅନେକ ଦୂରକୁ ଯାଇଥିଲେ ଯଦିଓ ବଟବୃକ୍ଷ ନୀରବ ନିଶ୍ଚଳ ଭାବରେ ଅଟଳ ଅଚଳ ଭାବରେ ଠିକ୍ ସେଇ ଜାଗାରେ ଦଣ୍ଡାୟମାନ ଥିଲେ କିନ୍ତୁ ସିଏ ଶକ୍ତ ଥିଲେ ବୋଲି ଅନେକ ବସା ବାନ୍ଧି ହେଲା ଅନେକ ପକ୍ଷୀ ତିଆରି ହେଲେ ଅନେକ ଖଣ୍ଡି ଉଡ଼ା ଦଉ ଦଉ ଉଡ଼ିବା ଶିଖିଲେ ଆଉ ତାଙ୍କ ବିସ୍ତୃତ ଡେଣାରେ ସମଗ୍ର ବିଶ୍ୱକୁ ଚହଟି ଗଲେ କିନ୍ତୁ ସେ ଚହଟିବା ପଛରେ ଏ ବଟବୃକ୍ଷର ସ୍ମୃତି ଏବେ ବି ସଜୀବି ଯେ ତା ପାଇଁ ଆମେ ଡେଣା ଦେଇ ଉଡ଼ିପାରିବୁ ଧନ୍ୟବାଦ ଆମେ ନିବେଦନ ରଖିବୁ ଠିକ୍ ସେମିତି ଏକ ଭାବ ଓଡ଼ିଶୀ ଗବେଷଣା କେନ୍ଦ୍ରରେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଡକ୍ଟର ସଙ୍ଗୀତା ଗୋସାଇଁ ହେଇନଥିବେ ସଙ୍ଗୀତା ମହାପାତ୍ର ଥିବେ ଏବଂ ଗୁରୁଜୀଙ୍କ ସାନ୍ନିଧ୍ୟ ଲାଭ କରିଥିବେ କେତେବେଳେ ନାଲି ଆଖିର ଆକଟ ମିଳିଥିବ କେବେ ଗାଳି ଆଉ କେବେ ପିଠି ଥାପୁଡ଼ା ବି ମିଳିଥିବ ଏବଂ ଗାୟନ ବେଳେ ବିଶେଷ କରି ନୃତ୍ୟରେ ଗାୟନ ବେଳେ ହୁଏତ ତାଙ୍କ ଗାୟନରେ କେବେ ଚରିତ୍ର ପ୍ରାଣବନ୍ତ ହେଇନଥିବ ସେ ପିଠି ଥାପୁଡ଼େଇ ଦେଇ କହିଥିବେ ଏଇଟାକୁ ଏମିତି ନୁହଁ ସେମିତି ଗାଇବୁ ଲୁଚ କାଳି ହେଇପାରିବ ନାହିଁ ଲୁଚ କାଳି ହେବ ଏମିତି ଅନେକ ସ୍ମୃତି ତାଙ୍କ ଭିତରେ ଥିବ ନିବେଦନ ରଖିବୁ ଡକ୍ଟର ସଙ୍ଗୀତା ଗୋସାଇଙ୍କୁ ଆମେ ଡକ୍ଟର ସଙ୍ଗୀତା ଗୋସାଇଙ୍କୁ ପୁଣି ଥରେ ନମ୍ରତାର ସହିତ ମଞ୍ଚକୁ ସ୍ୱାଗତ କରୁଛି ଆପଣମାନଙ୍କର କରତାଳିରେ ଏବଂ ରତିକାନ୍ତ ମହାପାତ୍ର ମହୋଦୟଙ୍କୁ ନିବେଦନ ରଖିବୁ ତାଙ୍କୁ ପୁଷ୍ପଗୁଚ୍ଛ ଦେଇ ସ୍ମୃତିଚିହ୍ନ ଦେଇ ସମ୍ବର୍ଦ୍ଧିତ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ଯେ ଦଶନ୍ଧି ଧରି ଗୁରୁଜୀଙ୍କ ସାନ୍ନିଧ୍ୟରେ ଅତିବାହିତ କରିଥିବେ ନିଜ ଜୀବନର ପ୍ରମୁଖ ସମୟ ଆଉ ପ୍ରମୁଖ ଅଧ୍ୟାୟ
मो आगे बसिथिबा समस्त कलाकार एवं रसिक मानक मोर प्रणाम। तापरे जहाँ आज ये कार्यक्रम आमे संगीतर डेफिनेशन कहले गीत नृत्य वाद्य ये तीनोटी जाकर समाहार थिले सार से समस्ते बहुत प्रणाम जन सारे एवं तले बसी बसी मु से प्रणाम जनाऊली एवं मु किछि भाबुथिली जे न कहले भी चलिबो शुणी शुणी एते आनंद लगुची सबु सेतेबेल को मन भितरे तांको सहित जेतिकी संस्पर्श रे आसीची सेगुड़िक सबु मन भितरे जेमती उंकी मारुछन्ते केमती बाहर को बाहरिबे काले भूली जीवी बोली मु दी चारटा कथा खाली लिखिछि। बहुत मजा लगथिला सुनिबा पई। प्रथम है आमे समस्ते आज ये एकाठी होइछि आमको किए एकाठी करिछि कला। तेणु ये जो कलाटी बा आर्ट दैट इज द ब्लेसिंग्स ऑफ गॉड से आमे कला करुचे आमे माने कलाकार आउ सार जेहेतु जड़े अति उत्कृष्ट कलाकार थिले सेतिपई एते कलाकार को से एकाठी करि पारछन्ते केवल कला। तेणु से कलार साधना सुंदर भाव हवा दरकार। 1987 मसीह आगुरी सार को देखी जेहेतु कटक रु किंतु 1987 मसीह ओडिसी गवेषणा केन्द्र रे जोगदेला परे तांको सहित बहुत भल संपर्क रे आसिली एकदम क्लोजली। प्रथम कहिबी आमर से यूएसएसआर ट्रिप कथा सेठी आमे सतले शिबू गुरुमा झलमपा शर्मिला देवी दीदी सबू कस्तूरी बहुत मजा लगुता। रशिया रे तो भाषा प्रॉब्लम हम खाइबा को बहुत कष्ट होता देखला को सार बड़ मजा रे आराम रे खाउछन्ती हम भाबु सार को भाषा रे कथा होउछन्ती सी तांकर खंडे कागज काढ़ी दे से बहुत भल पाती चिकेन आउ अंडा आमे देखुछु सी वेटर को कौन आंकी दे दउछन्ती देखिला को गोटे कुकुड़ा ता पाखरे अंडा तेणु से आराम से खाउछन्ती देख केते बुद्धि तांकर आड़े आमे जानी पारुनु कौन खाइबु बोली। तापरे जहाँ इलियाना टिके आगुरी कहते जे एते टेंडर लव गुरुमांकर देखुलु आ सप्तरे से गुरुमा को गोटे मिनिट छाड़ू नथिले रास्ता रे चलला बेले भी तांको हाथ धरिकी चलुले आ पछाड़ू शिबू देख लैला मजनू जाउछन्ते। तापरे आउ गोटे भल कथा कहबी से मते डाकुले अरे संगीत आउ नले मु हेली भीमसेन आउ गुमानी टोकी गीत चली आ गोटे थर पंडित 84 आमर रिहर्सल करुले श्रेया चंडालुणीर कंपोजिशन चली से बसिंट सी पलैबे फ्लाइट रे तांका टाइम हो जाउची केलु बाबू चलतु चलतु चली सार किंतु जेहेतु गीत जानी थे आ कौ शब्द तांको कोरियोग्राफी केमिति से चाहूले सुरटा केते पिच रे रहिबो सार से करदेले श्रेया चंडालुणीर सार कहले नाई ना 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 एमती नाई एटा नहीं ऊपर केलु बाबू मु करुची आपण जानुछंती मु कहूची आमे रखिबा 3 स्टार रेट आपण 5 स्टार को पळुछंती एमती से सार से को रागी गले मु कोरियोग्राफी करबी ना तमे करियो तेणु किछि समय बंद हला कुमकुम पासी मझिरे पसिले तापरे पुणी कंपोजिशन चलिला। रिसर्च सेंटर तो बहुत जहाँ कहते टिके आगुरी सार को घसामोड़ा खाया को भल पाती बहुत आउ बेसी घसामोड़ा करे कहुणी रे पिठी रे पिला माने दौथिबे आउ एते से सही पारती। आउ जो शला कथा कहला इलियाना मु गोटे थर सुनती सार ताकू शला कहला बेले कारण जहाँ कहबे से कह ना एता नाई ताकू सार से दिन कहले अरे गाड़ी काढ़ टिके जीवा कटक तू सार पेट्रोल नहीं शला पेट्रोल नहीं बजे भी अबिका पेट्रोल नहीं 2 मिनिट रे इलियाना गाड़ी काढ़ला आमे गलु कटक से दिन प्रोग्राम थिला गिरिजा देवी सांगरे। तापरे आमर रिसर्च सेंटर आम सब बेले एकाठी बहुत काम चली थाए मु सब बेले कहे सार जीवे प्रोग्राम रे नाचिबा मु तो नाच शिखु नी डरू नी बहुत भल पाऊली मु कहली जहाँ शिखई शिखई मन पकईकि करेंगे भूल नर्भस जमा हेनी नर्भस हेले मत मन पके आज्ञा
ठीक अच्छी यह कहीकि जीवे सरला परे मध्य हाम्पी जाऊँ गोटे प्रोग्राम रे रास्तार देखिले एत बड़ बड़ तरभुज थुआई मु देखुची सार बुलुंट से दुकान रे मागुंट तापर कहले आइलु से कौन कौची देखला से दुकानी वाला बुझीपारनी ये खरगोश कितना मु कहली सार खरगोश नुह खरबुजा से सार से किणिले आउ थे हैदराबाद प्रोग्राम चलता मु देखुची सार केमती इंग्लीश रे कही दौरान एत कथा केमती बुझीजती एमती मल्लीर बास्ना हेनार बास्ना भी विभिन्न प्रकार सुंगिकी से कही दौले फरेन पिला मैंने पचारे गुरुजी व्हिच परफ्यूम डू वांट मल्ली कि रोज सी ताकू विभिन्न भाव में देखौले तो भावुली बापरे ये कहला पर भी से बुझी जाऊे किंतु गोटे थर आमे से आर रूम रे सार जाउछंती मोर तो मन मन लगी किंतु सार एत समय इंग्लीश कहे बोली सार जानी कहीं आमे शुणु जा तू जा मु कहली हो किंतु मु पछे पछे जाइछि गुरुजी हैड यू एवर बीन टू हैदराबाद बिफोर अनिल सब कहले ओ येस 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 संजू मी रघुनाथ राउंडिंग 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 तेणु मु सब बुली देछि हैदराबाद मत तुमको बुलेबार दरकार नहीं आउ पान बरजर गोटे सुंदर कथा से आकाशवाणी रे निजे कही से पान बरजर काम करते दिन को चारणा पैसा पाउले किंतु जी अधिक कर अधिका पैसा मिल कारण से पैसाटा कलेक्ट कले सी जी मालिक थे मारवाड़ी लोक सी पैसा देकी पठेबे कटक रे जाइए भलरे नाच शिखापी ना कि कला को आहरी प्रसार करने से देखुंट यहाँ कहीं देले ना सबू लोक हालिया हो पहाड़ उपर पानी आणिकी तलू माने उच्चा जगार तलू आने गोटे पिला जी गीत गाई गाई सी चली आसुंच तो कहले ते थका लगुनि ना नहीं तो कि गीत बोली बोली खुशी जे कला प्रति आग्रह थिला बोली से पान बरजरे भी एते उपरु तलू केते माठिया पानी बोईकी नौले किंतु गीतटी से चलीथिला से साधना से कष्ट करथिले बोली आज सी भारत रत्न उपाधि पाइबे बोली समस्ते भाभी पारुछंती आ हाम्पी रे से शंकराभरण पड़े भी गाऊ गाऊ सार कौन बजेले मुझे नाचरे बहुत कम गाऊली गाऊ नी मु गोटे कुआड़े पलैली आउ धरी पारिनी सी कि फटाक से गीत गायिकी धरीदेले से पुणी मु कंफर्टेबल हो गली आउ थे आम जाऊँ झेल बापा प्रोग्राम थिला जटाट भी गलज्वल करार भी थिला से रास्तार आग तो मत कुरुयदु नंदन ट्रेन रे शिखेकी गले राखाल महांती जापारे ना बोली मत नहीं गले किंतु रास्तार भुवनेश्वर सर आउ केलु सर बहुत परिश्रम करी से ट्रेन रे हारमोनियम टी काढ़ी सार पखज बजे शिखी शिखिकी गलु पुणी ट्रेन डेरी रे पहुँचला से जाऊ प्रोग्राम सारी आम बॉम्बे जाई पुणी आउ बहुत जिनस रेकर्डिंग करी आसीथिलु आउ गोटे कथा कहबी मोर हजबैंड बॉम्बे रु आसते से सार ना शुणुले सार को बहुत भल पाते कि केवे देखी नथिले गोटे दिन कौन गोटे जिनस दबार थिला से गले मुझे कहले हौ मुझे देखी जी मत घर कहे से गले देखी दबापाई कि से देखुं से कहले अच्छा सार अच्छा से कहले हसी दूची गोटे लोक मुंडरे बाली बोहुची जाऊची आसुची कहले ये बूढ़ा इतना बदतमीज है मजदूर है काम कुछ सुनता नहीं है खाली स्माइल कर देता है चला जाता है तो फिर केते बाट गला पुणी कहले अरे बाबू तमें आस बस मु तुमको चिन्ही से एते निजको माने लज्जित हेले एते बड़ लोक किंतु मुंडरे बाली बोहुछंती हसी दौरान माने से कहते कामटा सारी जाइए कथा है कि कौन माने यहीटा है सार नम्रता आउ गोटे जिनस है भेजिटेरियन जिनस बेसी भल लगे ना ओफ एते राग होची सब जिनस साइड काढ़ीदेवे किंतु मु देखी ट्रेन रे चिकेन टाकू नहीं बेसिन रे धोईदेवे तापर खाईदेवे कारण से बहुत भल पाती आउ जेते राति हम तांकर बैटरीटा सेतिकी चार्ज हुए आउ तांकर बहुत भल जिनस बाहर ता भर आउ गोटे कथा है आमर ओडिसी रिसर्च सेंटर रे कहले मत कहले मु कहली सार कौन मु नाची पारि कौन भाजु कि केलुचरण महापात्र कुकुर को भी नचेद मु कहले हौ
कहले तू आसिलु नाचिलु मु बसिक हाथ गोड़ हल्लेली नमदेव करने हेठू कहले बजा सची बजा केलु सार कहले मुझे नाई मुझे छोट मोट मर्दल पे साथ कैनि जदि गुरु केलुचरण महापात्र बजेबे ताले करी केड़े सुंदर आसिक मोर मस्ती नाच को सार बजेले भी तेणु ये जिनस थाए आती खाली कहबी सार जो जिनस आमको दे देइछंती तांकर से जो कॉस्ट्यूम भाभी जहाँ एते दिन चली आसी जो थीम रखुले ताकू नहीं ताकू रखिकी आम तार ऑथेंटिसिटी टाकू रखा से मोर खाली समस्त को निवेदन एवं जिते बड़े सी जो दिन गले तार ठीक 2 दिन आगु मु सार घर पाखु मात्र 2 मिनिट चलवा रास्तार रोली से दिन एयरपोर्ट छकरे जस्ट गोटे दिन आगु मु मोर काइनेटिक खंडारे जाऊँगी सार देखिकी एते खुशी गामुछाटा छाड़ी मत हल्लैंट वेव कर मोर सार को जीवित थी लास्ट जेस्चर तेणु तांको शतकोटी प्रणाम नमस्कार।
गुरुजी सहित अतिवाहित करिथिबा प्रत्येक मुहूर्त जे आमको रोमांचित करे एबे भी आमको बाट कढ़ी निए एक कथा आम स्वीकार करने बाध्य जो कथा उत्थापित करुले जदि मु सठिक तथ्य को मन पकई पारे तेरे रास दलू पितांकर मृत्यु पर जितेबले से मोहन सुंदर देवगोस्वामी रास दलू पुनश्च ग्राम को फेरी से पान बरचारे पानी देवाई 20 पैसार जो दिनकर मजूरी थिला 108 गरा पानी दबार थिला कि से गीत गाइबार एत मशगुल थिले जे 130 गरा पाखापाखि पानी बोही सारी मालिक डरिले जो अधिका पानी हेले मो गछ पोचिଯିव ताकू अटकेबाक पड़िबो एवं तांको गीतरे से एते मुग्ध थिले 20 पैसा बदल में 300 टंका देले गोटे शर्त कि दिन को 20 पैसा हिसाब से तू खर्च करू आउ काहुठी काम करू ना तू केवल संगीत करू से 300 टंका सरीगले मो पाखक आसबू एमती जड़े जड़े पृष्ठपोषक जड़े जड़े प्रेरित करुवा व्यक्ति प्रेरणार उत्स मिलगले प्रतिभा आहरी दिगंत विस्तारी हुए तार एक चलंत उदाहरण परे परे आम जहाँ को निवेदन रखिबू से श्रीमती शर्मिला विश्वास जहाँ पाई नृत्य हूँ विश्वास आधार गुरुजी होती विश्वास आधार उभय विश्वास को आधार करी जे नृत्य को निज जीवन अविच्छेद्य अंग भाव में स्वीकार करिसेंती गुरुजी प्रदर्शित पथर आउ जड़े सफल यात्री भाव में निजक प्रतिपादित करिसेंती आमे निवेदन रखिबू श्रीमती शर्मिला विश्वास महोदय को धन्यवाद आपण मान आशीर्वाद गुरुजी का आशीर्वाद निश्चित भाव में जेहेतु उत्तर पीढ़ीर पिला हिसाब से प्रत्यक्ष सानिध्य पाइबार सुजोग मो पाखे थिला आम रतिकांत महापात्र महोदय निवेदन रखिबू शर्मिला विश्वास महोदय को संबर्धित करने पुष्पगुच्छ दे धन्यवाद।
I want to say something, I want to share with you something which will perhaps bring a smile in your face and maybe something very soft inside, which is all about Guruji. When I was not yet finished my graduation, with all my worldly possessions packed in 2 suitcases, I went to Cuttack and told Guruji that, I think I have to stay in your house to be able to learn, not items only, to lead. I couldn't speak, I was stammering, but what I meant to say was I wanted to know how to lead the life of an artist. I don't know what Guruji understood. He didn't talk much. In fact, Guruma was also there. There were Guruji, Guruma and Shibu in the house. But let me share with you, those were the few years in which I felt
completely settled in life. I felt this is life. I felt this is my family, a family which understands my aspirations. So, with that, I started my life. My life began there. And whatever decisions I had taken, the biggest decisions in my life, I took there in Cuttack. And I continue with that. Something very funny. When there was a film called Jaydev, in which Guruji was the film director, and the dance director actually, but he was almost like the film director because everybody was so much in awe, about him, and his every word was like, Bible. So what happened was, my drama scenes were over. When the time came for the dance sequences, so Guruji landed up. I was already there. So Guruji immediately started his elaborate conversation on the sets, props, shot division, everything, and there was Niranjan Raut with his group of students. Guruji mate badile, sodhile, gali dele. But Guruji also hit Niranjan and Niranjan students. And I was so happy. Mu ekutya kai ki gali sunibi. And then it was amazing because I was thinking, Guruji, perhaps he doesn't even know those girls or Niranjan Bhai so much. But nobody minded. Another very beautiful thing, Samasta Janchila Chichi, that Guruji is very fond of mangsa tarkari. So, unit wala, Dinesh, film unit wala, they cooked mangsa tarkari and brought it for our lunch. In that room, there was only Guruji and myself sitting, mangsa tarkari and rasagulla. So Guruji had, both of us looked at the mangsa tarkari and we realized that Guruji won't be able to eat. Guruji couldn't eat tikha, rago. So Guruji said that you go and close the door. So I closed the door. Guruji said, go and wash the mutton pieces. So I washed the mutton pieces. Guruji mixed it with rasagulla and Guruji was eating with so much satisfaction and kept saying, Dekhilu, mu kemti adjust karke khauchi, and I was thinking, this person, he could have got the entire, every food in Bhubaneswar right at him. People were, and he said, now, I kept the door closed because they should not be embarrassed. How sensitive he was about the feelings. They had given the food with so much love. And they must be honored. So when I opened the door, Guruji gave a very satisfied look in his face, and everybody was happy. Another very funny thing was in the premiere of the film. I was more than a bit proud, because I saw first time in my life and last time also, that my pictures were there in the hoarding, just like any film. That's what they do. Then I was hoping that we will, from Cuttack, we will go in a car and step there, in style. But Guruji would not listen, have anything like that. Guruji said, no, you, Guruji, Guruma and I, we will go in a rickshaw, one rickshaw, 3 people. And then we took a rickshaw, and then there was a gamcha on his head, wet gamcha because it was quite hot. And we got into a bus, then got into a rickshaw and went for the premiere of the show. And the kind of, applaud he received when he got down from the rickshaw made me really humble. And I understood what is Guruji's strength.
And with this, I think the time is short. There is, I mean, as you know, I don't want to take too much time, but these are the things, small things, which has always touched me, and I tried to imbibe in my life.
आम अनेक अनेक कृतज्ञता अर्पण करुचु श्रीमती शर्मिला विश्वास महोदय निकटरे अति स्पष्ट कहते जे गुरुजी केवल नृत्य कला शिखौ नथिले जीवन को जीवार कला भी शिखौते द आर्ट ऑफ लिविंग आम वास्तव जीवन में केमी जीवार आवश्यकता अच्छी और नम्रता ही आमको उच्च को नहीं पारे माटी सहित संलग्न रहिले पड़ी जीवार भय न थाए आम जिते ऊपर को जीवा तेणु गुरुजी सब ग्राउंडेड थिले माटी सहित थिले तेणु नम्रता ही आमको आग को निए साधारण जीवन चर्चा भितर निजर असाधारणत्व को प्रतिपादित करी हुए एक कथा कति निखुणतार सहित जीवन प्रत्येक मुहूर्त प्रमाणित करते गुरुजी तेरे शर्मिला विश्वास सहित आम भी विश्वास रखिबू जे पर्यंत आकाश में सूर्य चंद्र थे से पर्यंत पद्मविभूषण गुरु गिरीश्वर महापात्र आदर्श भावावेग प्रशिक्षण सबकि उत्तर पीढ़ी पर्यंत प्रवाहित होता शुद्धतार सहित और निखुणतार सहित ए विश्वास सहित आज आलोचना को आम मैंने ये रखुचु। नमस्कार, धन्यवाद। पुणी थे भेट हवा सांझ अधिवेशन।